Lay down. There it is.
Either that, DME, or maybe you have to mute your YouTube.
No, I'm not on YouTube. I'm just in the OBS thing. I haven't even done anything. I'm just doing it normal. I'm just in that program. I'm not streaming or nothing. In the program, it's doing that. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't do that when it's on live, but I never tried it. Matt's in the building.
Oh, Darion's on. Oh, Darion, I forgot to tell you guys. What's up, Darion? He was inquiring. Me and him were speaking over Zoom just a few days ago. So.
What happened?
Oh no, he was trying to see what's up, but I didn't know when we were recording next, what we were doing. But he wants to get on a segment sometime.
Oh, that's cool. That's what's up. Epskay. Polo.
Epskay, you got banned from Twitter, I see, huh?
Epskay's always stirring the pot, man. Always. This guy.
He's going at Jay Legend hard. I'm like looking behind the scenes. I'm like, yeah, you got it all wrong, buddy.
Oh, he was going at Jay. I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
I had.
You talking about? Oh, yeah, you're talking about.
Yeah, with crazy.
Yeah, bro. Come on, man.
With crazy McGee.
If I was an outsider, I would think Jay did it too. I'm just saying. That's what happens when you're talking about people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, Jay.
Yeah,
Where is he? Where's Jay? Jay. Oh, he's not here.
Jay Legend is handling some business right now. Maybe he'll be on later on. Maybe we'll go on again. But for now, it's me and DME. For the time being, I know I want to catch John Reel's shit, which is popping in about an hour from now or something like that. But.
Yeah. We'll definitely get on and watch that. But what's going on, man? Eminem, is that what we're doing? Did you hear it yet?
I did. I saw Real Deal tweet out something about it, and for the past like few days, there's been like fake, like alerts, like fake notifications that like he dropped a diss song, but he's never dropped a fucking diss song.
A lot of it was saying, "Oh, he responded," and they're talking about like the interviews, like clickbait.
Yeah, it was a hella clickbait.
Yeah.
So when I seen this, I'm like, I saw it seemed official. So I was like, oh shit. So I was at work. I stepped out and listened to it. My undivided attention. It was okay. I think we expect way too much from Eminem. I thought it was decent. I didn't think he would respond. I'm surprised because what he was saying was, should I make you bigger than should I be the reason you get bigger than you are by responding to you? And I would have been fine with him not responding, honestly.
I like the line where he said, "I had to give you a career to kill it," or something like that. You remember that part? I had to give you a career so I can kill it.
Yeah.
That was funny. There was some fire line. Listen, I think when I first heard it, I had that initial reaction. I was like, because you're expecting so much, you just the level is so different for him opposed to everybody else, and so then I was really disappointed. But the more you listen to it, the better it gets. I'm telling you, it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. It's not a kill shot. That's my thing. It is definitely not a kill shot.
Right.
It was named improperly. They stole it. Di. They stole it from Di to Henny, man. All right. That's the real. You can't steal Di's kill shot. You know kill shots. You know what happens when you have a kill shot, right? All right. When you do too many kill shots, you end up in the hospital and you can't battle Danny Myers. That's what happens when you do too many kill shots. All right. So, salute to Jay Legend.
I'm gonna have to try a kill shot one day. See how that goes.
I don't know, man. They're tripping. They be tripping, but it sounds like poison. But it's not a kill shot. It was good. I think people are really hard on it because they expect so much. And but if you go back and listen to it a few times, man, he got a lot of bars, bro. He's really fucking talking to Machine Gun Kelly, He's got a little, of course, some corny shit in there, but That's M. And then I liked it, man. I don't think it's that bad. I was actually, when I was jogging, I threw that. I already heard it a couple times. Me and Nene went jogging and we popped it in the Beats headphones, and it had me bumping. You know, like if you just take out all the other stuff and just relax and just listen to the song, you know, it's not bad.
Yeah, I think it was good. Like I said, I think we all expect so much from Eminem, when I think it was decent enough. You think he should do another one? You think this wasn't enough and he should go for the kill shot, or you think
in the song he said this is the only time, this is the last time, you know, I'm not doing this again for
it's like,
so if he does another one, what? So but he's not gonna do another one until Machine Gun. If he responds or he's gonna respond to that, he's gonna go on forever. And
he's gonna have to do better if he would ever like go at Joe. Like he has to do better.
Listen, this doesn't beat Joe.
No.
That's a fact. But here's the problem, man. Joe's a little crybaby, bro. What Joe? He ain't doing shit. All right. And I don't like his narrative like that he's been trying to push, that M has no content, bro. What are you talking about, man? Lose Yourself is an iconic song that is all content. All right. When have you ever written a song like Lose Yourself, Joe? All right. That inspires people. All right. You ever heard of Beautiful by Eminem? That's no content. His whole last album was dumb content, as far as I'm concerned.
It's no question. Who's questioning?
I just rapping words now. Fuck out of here, man.
Who's questioning Eminem's creativity? I sure as hell don't. I was listening to Eminem since day one, since Rap Olympics. I knew about Eminem, into the Ruckus Records era. Before his album, I was listening to him. So when his album dropped, I had already got a hint of him. I'm a long time Eminem fan, man.
Oh, that's a fact. Me too. But you know, I mean, I don't know. I think I thought it was hilarious because everyone seemed to hate it, and you know, I mean, Machine Gun Kelly had a good diss, but if you really think about it, it was okay. I mean, like that's still not like the greatest thing ever either. Like it's like.
But I thought first of all, I don't like Machine Gun Kelly. Never liked him.
Me neither.
I don't even know his music. When he first came out, I caught wind of him. I listened to a couple things. I said, "This is trash."
Right.
It wasn't trash. It was just trash to my standards, because it was like, promote me, help me blow up. A white boy that raps with tattoos, kind of like, it was really gimmicky, you know.
Yeah.
So I was never fucking with it. I remember seeing him in like, it was either like a Funk Flex or one of those shows where they were on air, and they were telling him that it might have been Ebro or something. They were telling him that they didn't like him. So he was like so heartbroken. He was like trying to prove himself. He was like, so he spit a verse and acting like, well, after I spit, let me split this verse and then you tell me if I'm not for you, you know. So he spit the verse. He choked through the verse, so he stopped. And he played it off. He made it. Of course, we know when somebody stumbles and fucks up like that.
Right.
The majority of the public, they just probably didn't. They probably thought he just stopped. But we would know when somebody trips up. So he tripped up, and then he started going like, how do you not like that? You know, like trying to play it off. Right. And it was just still whack. And they were telling him like, yeah, I still don't like you. And I felt the same way. I'm like, yeah, you kind of trash, bro. So when listening to this song, I'm thinking in my head, wow, this is like the best Machine Gun Kelly shit I've ever heard in my life.
Me too. That's how I felt. Yeah, it was good.
So how does that compare to like something that you know, like Eminem's diss, where you know he can do a whole lot better? You know,
Machine Gun, Eminem puts out a diss track like Machine Gun did, everyone would shit on it so fucking fast. All right, if it was just kind of like that. If he had that same flow and tempo and just, you know, a few bars here and there, everyone would say that's garbage, you know. But it's Machine Kelly, you know. I thought M put it well when he said, when they asked him about it, that's why I asked him about it. He was like, they asked him, what do you think about the diss? He was like, it was good for Machine Gun Kelly. It was good for him, you know. And that's pretty much right. It sums it up. It was good for him, you know. He didn't say it was trash. He said it was good for him, and I thought that's how I felt too. And by the way, if that's the end of that Sway interview, that was trash. You broke it up in 3 parts, released it one a day, and
it looked like there was a fourth coming. Wasn't it? I watched the third one last night.
I thought the fourth would come out before the diss track, but maybe not.
Well, so, I don't think they're synced in the same time.
Well, then it should come out today because they've been coming out every day, one a day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's 9 o'clock, so I don't even care about that. You know what tomorrow is.
So you gonna play this at the bar, man? Pop dope?
Oh, yeah, 100%, 100%. We're not joking.
I do want to listen to it. I ain't gonna lie.
It's good.
It is. I thought the preview was fire, way more fire than the original that you've been fucking.
You mean the one they just played right now, the new one?
The new one with all the fucking extra effects.
Did you hear the story behind that?
No.
So Battle Truth dropped a blog, and he said that I got played, fam. You know, something like that, right? That was the title. So I listened to it, and I'm like, oh boy, he's gonna have an excuse of why he's not dropping the album. But then I kind of caught, like, you know, I was kind of listening to it, but it was in the background, and I might be wrong, but I think the whole point of it was the guy, I guess, who got him the beat for it or mixed it for him, the original one, started playing him or something, and he was like needed money, and he said it'll give him this. I don't know. There was some miscommunication. The guy ended up becoming a bum or something, and that's why he had to remix it and redo everything to it because so that original one I don't think is coming out. It's the new one because I think he had to scrap that and remix it. Because he had in the story had something to do with the original guy who had the beat became a bozo or something and backstabbed him.
So it's not even the same beat?
No, it isn't, but that's the thing. I don't know. I can't. It seems like it's the same beat, but and then Battle Truth was always also saying when you heard that first version, he had a lot of better ideas on how to remix it down and level it out, and he was right because there was wasn't really the levels were bad on that first version. Yeah. And that was actually my first complaint. And so he actually said the same thing, and they are definitely better here. Let me just give you a little snippet of I pre-ordered it.
I wonder how skilled Battle Truth really is, engineering wise.
I know. Look. Here's the deal. I've been in the studio. A lot of people, normal people just want to do tracks. They think they're good. You know, I consider one of my guys that just wanted to rap, and I thought I was good and just kept doing it. But I felt like I got better because I was consistent with it. A lot of people that do it for a year or two and they'll drop it. Battle Truth, I know he's just like my cousin Brando, man. Like every time I hear him talk about music, and every time I hear him, and every time I hear any of his tracks, and just the way he is, and when I heard Styrofoams and Ashtrays, I swear to you, I could have been like Brando made this. All right, I could have if Brando told me he brought me that song, and I was like, that's Brando, yeah, that's him. All right, so
the original,
yeah, my boy Brando, what up, though, at my intro.
No, the original Styrofoam and Ashtrays.
Yeah, he's the original. But I think he got talent, man, because he can definitely sing. He can hit notes, and I feel like he's that type of guy like Brando, where he just, he'd be in there and he'd just be thinking of stuff and just be dropping it, and like it's like the problem with him and Brando is their organization on trying to move stuff. Plus, again, old too. So, I mean, that's. I mean, it's hard to break in the industry when you're 40 years old, but
yeah.
But it's not even about that. If you make something fire, that's cool, man. It's just artistry, man. I love it. I never made $1 on all 600 songs I wrote. Who gives a fuck? It's not for everybody, but
I literally gave away over like 200 CDs I've given away when I was fucking rapping.
Don't even ask me how many CDs I've given away.
Yeah, I used to buy the 100 pack.
Thousands on blank CDs. Yeah. Best Buy, 100 pack.
Yeah.
I even made my own labels, but those were a bad idea because I bought this stupid label thing from Best Buy, and it when it prints, you put it in the CD player a couple times, and then it starts messing up, and it gets stuck in the CD player. Yeah. Terrible idea.
It was thick. That's the thing. It was like thicker paper.
Too thick, yeah. It's too thick. What up, Sir Michael?
And then you had to have the little stamper with it so it can line up properly.
Exactly. Yep. That shit was crazy. But listen, this is the little. It sounds like the end of the song. Because I pre-ordered it on Amazon.
Mike Hawk's in the house.
The end of the song. You see the melodies, bro. He got it down.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a new part. That's what's up.
Sounds
man.
dope, but why styrofoam and why ashtrays?
You don't get it?
No.
All right, so you've been like in a trap house, you're hanging out, bum, drug house. You know, they're hanging out, right? And they what happens is you'll use your styrofoam cups for ashtrays a lot.
Okay.
You know, if you don't have an ashtray, like give me a cup.
Sure.
You know,
if you're in the trap, the floor is your ashtray, but okay.
But you never done that? Never used a styrofoam cup as an ashtray?
Sure.
Yeah. So styrofoams and ashtrays, and then it's like a double entendre. Then you got styrofoam cups, you know, they're sipping with their lean, and then I wouldn't know what the double thing for ashtrays is, but you know, there's a couple of double meanings there, right? Anybody? Am I right on this?
Nah.
I don't know.
I think you're giving him way too much credit.
When you pop dope, you know, you start feeling good, and you start smoking, and you know, ashing, you know, drinking.
What do you popping? What dope do you pop?
Whatever. It could be your choice. You know, your choice of dope. It could be some amphetamine. It could be you know, codeine.
See, that's what Epske was saying. Styrofoam cups for lean. That's what I interpreted.
Yeah, but the double meaning is styrofoam cups and ashtrays. You can use styrofoam as a cup as an ashtray as well.
I guess.
So like I said, the drinks and that, and the ashtrays. So
I guess so.
But hold on, this isn't a song where we need to be breaking bars down. All right, this is a melody. All right,
I'm just trolling.
I know. They're gonna be harder on Battletooth than Eminem. I'm telling you, you guys are. You guys expect too much.
Waiting for the bars.
Oh, they're
waiting on side B. That's side A. That's side A, the R&B side. Oh.
Mike Wavy's in the building.
I got the
Subway.
Got the foot long ready.
That's what's up, man.
So I won't have to punch somebody in the face.
Ruben, Ryder, and Cuban. You didn't see it?
I didn't. I was watching Cortez and Ryder on my drive home from work. I got through the first round, and that's kind of like what made me like wanna thinking about going live, because I started thinking about like Danny Myers for some reason. I remember when he battled T-Rex. I was in the building for that. Nobody really wanted to cheer for Danny in the building. Not until like the third round. The third round, everybody kind of opened up and was cheering Danny for more. That's not in the official drop, but they were cheering Danny after they cut him off and telling him to keep going, keep going, keep going. And this went on for a good like minute and a half.
Well, you felt like this related to this battle somehow?
Yes, because everybody kind of was hating on Danny. See, this I'm gonna leave that alone because I want to put that together a little better. Everybody wanted to hate on Core, but they're just opening up to Core as well, because this is kind of like a transition where everybody used to hate Core. Core has gotten a lot more love since like the campaign to get Core up on back to the scene and back and popping, and I think Angry Fan plays a big role in that. Because
well, I think his Prez Mafia twerk battle, helped out a lot.
Yeah, that did. But I think Angry Fan was campaigning for quite a while for Cortez, and Cortez started to kind of get back in the scene and become more relevant. I think he had a lot to do with it. But he was kind of like borderline between hate and acceptance. But here you have Ryder, who's suppressed. They're not really showing a lot of him. They're not really giving him plates. And everybody wanted to see him shine. They wanted to see what Ryder did. That's why he was getting more gas. I thought it was really gassy. There was some things that weren't dope. He had a good round, like on his first, but it's weird. In my mind, I see it much better. But
did you have Cortez winning?
see, that's the thing. Off that first round I watched coming back, because I saw it a few times. I had Cortez winning, the previous watches, but I love leaving a battle like that. That's why sometimes I don't mind these late drops when these random, we don't even know when this event was last, when did it happen. It just, this battle dropped. So in my mind, it's a little fresher. It gives me time to reset and come at it with a fresh pair of eyes.
Yeah.
And I thought Core had a lot of good bars in his first round, and so did Ryder. But Ryder was getting a little bit more gas, so I couldn't really tell. I couldn't sit back. I didn't take time to sit back and really see the level of gas in comparison to the skill level that they both actually displayed, because I tried to tune some of that shit out. And I'll tell anybody, because they'll say don't go off crowd reaction, but crowd reaction has a lot to do with not our decision watching it back, but it has a lot to do with how the battle rapper performs. So they can have a bad performance because of the crowd being shitty, or it could be a great battle because of the crowd being great. So you can't say don't listen to the crowd or don't rule out the crowd, because the crowd plays a great portion of the vibe and how the battle turns out. But in really fine tuning, like picking a winner, I do tune out the crowd, but I definitely taking into consideration that they do have a large role on the outcome.
That goes into what we were talking about. Jack Boy trying to, like, his angle kind of was, it should just be about lyricism, and I don't agree with him, and I don't understand that, because it's like, it's not a written battle,
right? Yeah,
it's a battle rap. The crowd has, of course they're part of it. Of course they're gonna play a role. Your crowd control is a big part of it. Your star power is a big part of it. Your ability to handle the stage is a big part of it. I don't think lyricism, and Jay said it should be like 75-25. I don't even know if it's that high, man, to be honest. Like, if you can say the dopest shit in the world, but if you lack in all those other areas, and you're gonna be trash on that stage.
Right. The old school way was always about the lyrics, just like he was saying. But I mean, you take a let me see. Shotgun Suge versus B-Dot. Shotgun's gonna have a lot more performance. He could win the battle just basically off performance and delivery. He's not gonna have better bars.
Are you just saying hypothetically, baby?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, but well, I mean, B-Dot does, I feel like B-Dot has good energy. I feel like he can match a Suge. I see he be turning up. I think B-Dot turns up a lot, don't you?
Yeah, I'm just making an argument, but where you have performance versus lyrics.
Yeah, maybe like a Suge JC, maybe.
Right.
Something like that. Yeah, I hear that.
Where you can see like Suge winning that battle just solely off energy.
I got B-Dot 3-0, but and I got him beating JC, bro. That's a fact. I don't see it. Hold on. Auntie's calling me.
Yeah, I got a text or some message, but hang on 1 second.
We're live, me and Vidual right now on his channel. So
he said, "And."
Yeah.
Thanks, Ponce.
I know, right? He's adjusting.
It's getting notifications.
Right. I don't know, babe. We just started.
So Mike Wavy says, I say the crowd has 75% to do with the battle.
Mike Wavy said what?
The crowd has 75% to do with the battle. I wouldn't say it's that high, but it definitely plays a part in the energy in the room, like the how the battler feels and performs. I think that's giving the crowd way too much credit at 75%, but
75% is a little high, maybe like 60ish, maybe 50-50.
yeah.
It's hard to quantify numbers.
It doesn't have to make or break, but it plays a role.
Yeah. That's a fact. What up, J Biz? J Biz is in the building. Edgar.
J Biz, Edgar.
45%. Okay.
Polo was in here. Epsky. J Legend dropped in.
How snotty she looks.
What you mad at, Ponce?
Yeah, you.
What you mad at?
Yeah.
You just mad for no reason right now. Them Detroit, Puerto Rican girls, I tell you.
Hey.
Cálmate, ¿por qué está en fuego a la vez?
All right, babe.
Okay. All right, bye. Te veo. Esa Pansy siempre está en fuego, ¿no?
Yeah, I mean, so Ryder, right? Okay, so that leads me in. So I watched Ryder and Cuban today, right? Cuban, and it's a 1-rounder. It's 26 minutes long, right? That was weird, and it started around the 3-4 minute mark, and Ryder ended at like 12 minutes or less, like less than 10 maybe, and then Cuban rapped for like forever. But Ryder choked. He was fired in his first half of the battle, the round, and then he started choking. Then he tried to get it back, couldn't get it back. Then I felt like he just started into something else, but he was real like non-confident. You know how when they come into something new, and then he wasn't talking with any aggression.
Ryder was?
Yeah, because he had choked, but it was a 1-rounder, and so. I think he started after he tried to get it back for like 30 seconds and he couldn't, and then I think he started going into something else, or he might have got it back, but he just had no confidence when he was saying. He was kind of almost like whispering it.
Have you ever seen Ryder choke?
I don't think so.
Was that his first?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have him losing a battle, but then, so, all Cuban had to do was be decent. I think Cuban was really good in this battle, and he beat him, bro. He beat him easily. He did go a lot longer, but it doesn't matter. He beat him. As long as Cuban didn't choke, he would have beat him. But it was a good Cuban, man. He had a bulletproof vest on. He was channeling his inner Geechee Gotti.
Where's Cuban from?
Where's he from?
Yeah.
I don't know. No idea.
Where'd you watch it? What channel?
Oh, Battle Rap Trap.
Trap battle?
Yeah, he dropped it. So yeah, it was a good battle, but Ryder lost.
I'd like to make it out one day to one of those events, man.
Yeah, it'd be fine. It'll look good crowd. It was shot well.
They actually just had one in Connecticut, but it was I think it was in Bridgeport, which is still like an hour from me. That's more on the west side of Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I hate going to that side of Connecticut. I feel like I'm just driving to New York at that point. I really do.
I've been to Connecticut, never been to New York. That's the weird thing.
You still haven't been to New York, huh?
No, we went to that casino out in Connecticut. We stayed there.
Yeah, it's a fun time over here.
It was cool. We had a good time. We saw I think Don Omar was performing at the casino. So she wanted to see that. Yeah, it's fire. I had a good time. So what did you take away in the whole Jack Boy interview? What we did?
I liked where his head is at this particular time.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he was so open to suggestion, and he was curious. I like that because that's a sign that you're still learning and moving up, and you're not you're not taking things in a cocky manner. So I think he has a lot of room for growth.
Yeah. I liked it, man. It was a good interview. I didn't know we were on for so long. I think we did over 2.5 hours. That's crazy.
Still got like another 1 or 2 segments in the back
What'd
burner.
You say?
You still got like another 1 or 2 segments in the back.
I got at least 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got at least 2. I got the the one part where he talks about the 2-on-2, and then when he talks about the strike at the end, and that's it. I think that's it.
The strike.
Right, the strike. It's over. The strike is over.
Oh, Beasley threw that in a little bit more with the Cortez Ryder battle, and he introed with that.
Oh, did he? Did he? I didn't even realize it. I skipped the intro. Yeah.
So you wanna see Cortez more? Like you wanna see Cortez in these where do you want to see Cortez, in the big marquee matches or the smaller ones? Like the Summer Madness, Gnome, or more battling it out with kind of like the up and comers and such.
I feel like he's been doing that a lot. He's battling all the up and comers. You know, he's done the Ryder, Twerks, the Prez Mafias. That's 3 of his main last 3 out of 5 battles, I think. And I wouldn't mind seeing him against but he's battled a lot of people. Who's left? They're gonna at a point. Like who can he battle still? I know there's still matchups left, but if he was gonna be like on a Summer Madness or something like that, I feel like the matchup would have to be right and have some kind of backstory to it. I wouldn't want him to just be on Summer Madness with nothing. I think that the Twerk Cortez battle had a little bit of backstory. They were going back and forth. They were, there was a whole issue with Cortez and the Goonies. So
Cortez.
Or what? But yeah, I don't know, man. Cortez. I wouldn't see him on RBE. Maybe battling like.
It would debut, right? He's never been on there.
I don't think he's been on RBE. I could be wrong, but.
So we haven't got the jumping ahead. We haven't got K-Shine's opponent yet. That hasn't dropped yet, has it?
Nah, seems like they're doing that whole one at a time deal. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's cool.
I wonder if he took some of the criticism and is dropping a bigger name after K-Shine.
He said it only gets darker from here. That's what he said. So I don't know what that means.
It's just promo words. Because I mean, how's it gonna get darker when you're presenting kind of like the headline? It only gets lighter from there.
You think K-Shine's the headliner? Biggest name?
Possibly.
Really? I might disagree. I think he might have something else up his sleeve. K-Shine's the biggest name on this card?
Well, he's the only name that's announced, isn't it?
No, I know. But I mean, after all the announcements, you think that he'll be the biggest?
I don't know why he would open with him. Then to announce the main event afterwards.
Yeah, well, maybe like what happened in the last card. Maybe he learned some lessons where it's like, unless you got because these battles super locked in and 100%, maybe don't announce them. Like I'm sure. What was it? Well, he never announced the Suge battle or nothing. That was just all us knowing about it. What battle did he announce? Anything that ended up getting switched besides Daylight?
That was announced?
Yeah, announced and had to get switched. That's the only one?
Yeah, I don't think anything was officially announced.
All right, maybe I'm thinking of Summer Madness 7. Yeah, because the Twerk, not Twerk, but Sue Surf and Iron got switched up. Yeah, a couple other battles, but
Twerk. I was just watching Piper Boy's video with Twerk throwing shots at Rosenberg.
Bro, I saw that yesterday. On somebody was responding to Twerk, and then I went back to see what he said, and he was like, yeah, I don't anybody book Rosenberg Raw. you getting what is it? He ain't getting no plates or something. So you could take that in two ways if you don't know the context, right? You could take it in one way, as in he's not getting no plates. What's up? Like, how come you guys are hoeing him out, right? Like, get him some plates, you know, book him. Or the way Twerk, a fan responded and Twerk responded back, showing what his ultimate his thinking is that no, he ain't getting no plates, and if he does, I'm coming and shoot bullets. Like, what do you first?
I don't know what he just got into with him, because Rosenberg barely even battles. It's not like he's out here battling like left and right to where you're like, oh, I'm gonna put a stop to this. You're not battling. Like, when's the last time Rosenberg battled for you to be saying you're not battling anymore? Or, I don't know.
I don't know. It has to be, bro. It has to be something serious, something like in real life shit.
Yeah, I mean,
he said he's gonna go. If you book him, he's showing up and he's putting bullets basically in him.
Shells.
He's shooting up the place, in so many words. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Stop work. Stop.
What's wrong with everybody? And why is it on Twitter that you're gonna go on Twitter and make that statement? I promise you guys, Visual, you can mark my words. If I ever have any intent of shooting up any place, I won't tweet about it.
Yeah, you wouldn't see it. You wouldn't see it coming.
I'll tweet about it. That's the last thing I'm doing.
Yeah, this announcing shit like that is completely fucking ridiculous to me.
Hey, take me to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you guys have a hard time, with your cases. Detectives are not that smart these days. We'll make it easier for you.
It's like, what are you doing in retrospect after that? Oh, I spoke out, like, you're gonna put out an apology or something along those lines. Like,
and
stop getting too emotional and having these outbursts publicly. Especially
in just where you're at right now, like this is the last thing you need to be saying right now. And you know what kills me? Like a few days before that, he'd be on some Christian tip. He even got an award shot at him out for it, right? And what the fuck are you doing? Like, you can't one week say God, Bible, blah blah blah. Next week I'm shooting up the venue of Rosenberg's fucking booked, and like, what? I don't get it.
We're gonna have a Rosenberg trailer dropping tomorrow.
Rosenberg Raw. Who's thought of him? I haven't thought about Rosenberg Raw and what.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not even like relevant right now. Like, why would you even bring him up saying he's not getting any plates or else? Like, he doesn't get plates to begin with. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like I said, may something happen. Maybe he fucked his baby mom. I don't know. I don't know what they be doing, man. But
it's extreme, but funny.
If it's real life shit, why are we hearing about it? That's my point. I'd be happy if we lived in a world where the battlers would only talk shit online about battles and stuff like that. I mean, real life shit doesn't belong on the internet. I thought it was common sense, but maybe not.
Speaking of real life shit, salute to everybody down at the Carolinas and that area where the hurricane's getting hit. I hope y'all are safe. Get to some shelter, because that hurricane is looking crazy on the radar.
Yeah, I blocked it out, man. I'm not really watching. I mean, it looks nuts.
Well, I was thinking of like the DMV area too. Like, we were just talking to Jack. I ain't even crossed my mind to say. Too? I thought that's where it was kind of heading. It was like that whole little section there.
Yeah, I mean, that's just crazy.
I actually got to call my boy, because they said it was like close to like Jacksonville area too. Is getting some of that effect, which is he's down there too.
That's something we ain't got to worry about over here.
Yeah, my fucking beard itches. I gotta shave.
Yeah, we ain't got to worry about no hurricanes here, man. Oh, we get tornadoes, but not really, barely. No earthquakes. You guys ever had earthquakes?
We've had, yeah.
We've had one or two maybe ever that were like you only had you heard the aftershocks. You felt them. That was it.
Yeah, it's been a couple of times you felt a couple tremors, but when I was in California, they happened frequent. I would always hear everybody like numerous times say, "Did you feel that? Did you feel that earlier today?" And I never really felt it, but people were always talking about it.
Yeah, that'd be some crazy shit to be in a real one where everything's moving and shaking. Like, I'll freak the fuck out, Nene.
Mm. Get under a doorway.
Get under a doorway. Go in the bay. We used to have drills in school for fucking. I feel like it was earthquakes. Earthquake drill.
Get under the desk.
Yeah, why would we have an earthquake? It was always get in the basement or get away from the windows. Never needed to use any of those skills. Yeah, that's fucked up. Get the fuck out. Would you look if they told you to evacuate, right? Would you be one of those dudes who because there are people that don't. Some people don't listen.
Some people have no place to go. That's why.
Yeah, but isn't it better to like just drive away?
True.
I mean, you have a car at least. If you don't have no transportation, I get it.
But I mean, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, which a lot of us are, you know, like how do you do that? Where do you go? Where's your destination? Where's your goal destination to? You know, like it's a hard thing to fathom to just get up and go like that.
Yeah.
Most people will say, I'm just gonna ride it out. You know, we'll go in the basement or go, you know, we'll put some stuff in front of the windows, if anything. You know, it's hard. It's not an easy thing. We were going through, like I work at a nursing home. We were going through emergency scenarios today, and the shit for like first responders is it's incredible because it's such a shit show when something happens. Like just for my facility, we house like 120 residents. If something was to happen and we had to evacuate all of them, there would be they section off like 10 here, 10 there, 10 there, 10 there, and everybody would get a little piece, whether it be different facilities. The hospital takes some, this person takes some, you know, and these people are sick for the most part. So it's such a task. You know, it's such a shit show keeping everybody like keeping track of everything. Especially if power's down and shit like that. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, glad, man. Well, be safe, man. Be safe. That's Mother Nature's a bitch. Sam.
So what it do, guys? What it do?
Abskate says quakes are fun now. He was knocked off a skateboard one time. Back.
That's what you get for being on a skateboard.
If there was any natural disaster I'd want to be in, it'd probably be an earthquake. Seems like it'd be more fun.
Fun? I don't think so.
You know, at least you're getting rather than drown. I don't know.
I've always liked hurricanes and shit like that. I always thought they were fun.
Hurricanes are fun.
Yeah, like
you go surfboard, right? You go surfing and shit.
Yeah, I remember when I was young. I think it was like Hurricane Bob. This was
Bob, huh?
Yeah, this was like probably early '90s, or even maybe even before that. But I remember like my friends' brothers were taking trash bags and like hovering, like they would run with them because the winds were so you know, so it would fill up the trash bag like over them with wind, and they would run and glide with these fucking bags. I always thought it was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
BMX all day, buddy.
I had a BMX. Fucking tires. Come on. Never mind.
It's like a BMX and no peg. The Harlem.
I tried riding a skateboard. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I have no balance on roller blades or roller skates. It's like very hard for me.
I used to fuck with rollerblades too.
I couldn't do it.
They used to make fun of us though, because everybody always called them fruit booters. The rollerblades were always like the gay option.
Looks fun.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. Hey, that's how Tsunami Surf got his name, right?
Yeah, right. That's
roller derby or something.
You remember roller? Do you ever watch roller derby?
Back in the day, yeah.
It was fake, right?
No, I don't think so.
hold on. I'm just talking about they're in the circle and they're hitting each other, knocking
Yeah, I
each
thought
other.
that was real.
I thought it was like pro wrestling.
Nah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they really went in.
Watch that shit. I mean, I thought it was real good when I was young, but I thought it was. I felt like it was not real. I felt like I heard that or something. Maybe I'm right. You didn't know the whole time.
Yeah, it could be.
When I found out wrestling, my cousins, my uncles used to make fun of me for watching wrestling. You know that's fake. I used to fucking get so mad because I'm like, it's not fucking fake. What do you mean? I'm like, look, he's hitting him. It looks like he is, at least, you know.
You see, I always knew.
Huh?
I always knew wrestling was fake.
I didn't. And I used to get mad. And then I don't remember when you know what I remembered? Hulk Hogan, it made me realize it was fake. Because of his dumb bullshit. I mean, as a kid, I was like, all right, like, you can't just, like, jump up and, like, that's just not real.
Thought he was overacting?
Right? Yeah, he overacted, and then I was like, yeah, this shit's fake.
Yeah, I always knew, like, everything was fake. As far as, like, wrestling, Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy. I always knew all that shit. I never
believed in Santa Claus off rip. It's because of my mom. She blew that out the water. My mom's problem was she always wanted to take credit for the gifts. Look, I got you this. Like, you know, she couldn't like just
fuck
say
Santa. He didn't get you this. I did.
Yeah, he didn't get shit. I fucking paid for this shit. Like fuck, appreciate me. So I was like, all right. I never believed in that shit. I don't ever remember believing in Santa or any of the other stuff. I think it was ruined. See, they used to let me watch. They would just let me watch shit like early on. So I like watch shit probably shouldn't have been watching and
oh yeah,
like movies and shit. And then they spill the beans in some of those sometimes. And when if you hear it young, it's like oh okay, you know.
Yeah, when we were coming up, when I was a kid, we had this cable box. It used to be the cable box with the little knob in the center. It was a circle knob that you clicked all the way around. Like a stove knob, and it would have 30 clicks or 32
channels, right?
Yeah, so there would always be like a 0 and like the last of the 30 something. So there was like a middle ground. So that middle ground used to be HBO back in the day. So this was very limited channels. HBO was one of the marquee, like the premier channels. So that cable box got HBO on that one click, that center one, but it was squiggly, the squiggly lines. You could still kind of make out what was going on, but it was squiggly. So if you take a matchbook or a piece of paper, you fold it up and you stick it right in the knob, and you turned it a bit, like fucked with it, you can get that channel to come out clear. So that's how we had free HBO growing up. So with that being said, from as little as I can remember, I was watching HBO programming. So that's like all the nasty shit, like all the original like Real Sex series. Like I remember watching the first one ever, and I'm like 7 years old, like porn going in and like shit like that kind of programming. It didn't matter. Like I grew up watching all of it at such at a young age that I can like barely remember that. That's how young I was.
We ended up getting one of those. It was when I was a little bit older, but probably like 10, 11. We got one of those because my dad was into all that technology shit. He always wanted the updated shit. You know, we had like Atari right when it came out, Nintendo right when it came out. We got a computer literally right when it came out, internet right when it came out. He was always on top of everything. And we used to have this black box they call, where it's like an illegal box. And it would have all, free cable for you.
You're talking about the digital one, though.
It was digital, yeah. But this one had the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
But the pay-per-views were, like you said, it would be blurry, and then it would go straight. Then it would go blurry, and then it would be fine for so every 3 seconds, blurry to good, right? And I used to watch the shit like that, but it had it had Spice on there, and Spice was the porn channel.
Yeah.
Right?
Softcore.
And it's like, hey, back then, it was hard to get your hands on porn. And so I watched, you know how much porn I watched where it was squiggly, then good, squiggly, then good. It was ridiculous.
Well, Spice was so trash, man, back in the day. Like, I know we used to love it because that's all we really had. Yeah. But it would be so fucking awful, man. I would, imagine watching that shit like today.
No, a lot of it came when it first came out. It was softcore. You know, like it was like real porn, but they wouldn't show you nothing. Like it wouldn't show you no penetration. And then they switched over to that.
Yeah, anytime the girl was giving head, the hair would always like be covering it, or it would be out a little bit in the distance, and there would be like a vase in front of the view of like what you really wanted to see. Like it would always like tease you like that. Like, come on. You never really got to see what was going on.
Yeah.
And motherfuckers would order that shit. I remember I've ordered a few spices before and they were complete trash.
Yeah, it's trash. What's it called? There's another battle I want to talk about, man. What else just came out?
The Epsky, the AB switch was the other one. There was a remote control with the cord on it, and it had the little buttons all across it, like a piano, like a switchboard. And I think the AB had that, the switch on it to switch to like the next set.
What other battle just recently came out? I wanted to talk about it.
Well, there's been a few. Well, I wanted you guys to watch that Eric Foreman and Eric Farrell.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was a cool battle. I thought they would both win, and it was entertaining.
Was it good?
Yeah.
What league was that on?
iBattle. No, wait. It might have been iBattle.
Oh, Shotgun Shook Louise release trailer is coming soon. Oh, X Factor Jerry West. That was
Oh yeah.
Did you get a chance to watch that?
I didn't. No, I wanted to watch it right away, and just something else always came up. But that's still on my list. Because I never really properly gave that battle of a full, fair assessment all the way through.
That's you stealing her? Jerry West is Ponce's favorite battler. I mean, X Factor is.
X Factor, really?
Look at it.
Oh,
he's watching. Don't be mean.
$5 Long Islands. He ain't leaving no tip for Ponce. He ain't tipping Ponce.
I just remember he was really cheap and annoying.
J Biz, you think it's fire? Big ups to J Biz, man. Can't be giving J Biz some boring shows, bro.
The show's fire. Hell yeah, J Biz. That's what we do. Nay. So anyways, X Factor. This battle was really good, man. I feel like I called it the same way I called it on the rewatch. I watched it twice, actually, 2 more times actually, and
I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'll watch it tonight.
Yeah, Jerry. The first round I gave it to X. Second round I gave to Jerry, and then the third round. No. First round X. Second round mad debatable. Third round Jerry for sure. It all goes to that second round. I think. I don't know how you give Jerry the first. Some people I heard did, but I don't see it. I think X. And the problem is X's second was like I think his best round.
I think I remember giving Jerry the first.
Jerry's second was like might have been his best round. I think they both had their best round in the second. So, really good battle, bro. I enjoyed it, man. I think I wouldn't mind seeing X Factor again. Like, would you like you got a problem with X Factor returning? I was the only one who was excited about this battle when happening.
I think that's the thing. Right? Is a generational gap, and for X Factor to be fully embraced, we got to see him a little more. You can't just pop in and out like that. Because he's not going to get the love and the hype from the new generation coming up and watching.
But how about other people in his era? I feel like they still kind of get that.
DME, I think the older we get, a lot of us have lost interest.
In what?
In the culture, in like battle rap.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think there's like nearly as many battle rap heads as there was.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that battle rap right now has less of a hardcore, like a following than it did when I don't know, '09, 2012?
No, this goes back to what Jack Boy was talking about with just the way it was with the more lyrics, with it being the presentation being revolving around having the better lyrics and stuff like that. That's kind of like we're following that, and it isn't just battle rap. I think we're following from it across the board.
Yeah,
it's less attention span, just people just maturing, growing out of it, new people coming in.
Yeah, and then I think the newer fan base. Here's the thing, like battle rap is gonna have always a correlation with hip hop. You know, I mean, you can't deny that. And the way the like, so you're gonna, like, most of your battle rap fans are gonna be initially hip hop fans who gravitate to battle rap. So when the hip hop fan changes, like, because the people, what we're listening to now isn't what we listened to in the 90s and the early 2000s. You know, everybody knows what's going on in hip hop, but when those fans change, then those fans end up becoming battle rap fans, right? With their ideas of battle rap. I mean, with their ideas of what hip hop is and what bars are. So I think that kind of, you know, changes it over into where we're at.
It's amazing. Like, there's kids at my job that don't know who Tupac is and shit like that.
Yeah, but okay, do you blame them though? Because here's the deal. So all right, Pac died in '96, so that's 20. Where we at? We're in 18, 22 years ago. All right. So he's 22 years ago. He died. So say you're 22, right? And then, like when you like, remember when you, okay, let's say when you were 22, right? Someone who died when you were born, like in fucking, like, I was born in '77, so let's say someone died in 1977. There's probably a good chance I probably wouldn't know who he is, but I'm a little different because I used to always go back. I was a big classical rock fan. I used to go back and listen, you know, Hendrix and the Doors and the Beatles and all that shit.
We still know the artists before our time. But yeah, I guess we just have interest.
Maybe I'm wrong in that, because
we have interest in knowing that stuff too. We're open to it.
Yeah, and I think there are still people who have the interest and are knowing of it. And I feel like I always felt like maybe it should have been more people going back and knowing this shit, because there's so much more access to it. You know, like for when I was growing up, if I wanted to learn about, you know, a Hendrix or anything, I literally had to put my money up and buy this shit. You know, I couldn't listen to no samples anywhere. No one's playing it on the radio anymore. You know, I have to seek this out and find it myself. Where now it's simple to do it. But do you think that's why? Because the more work you put in, maybe you appreciate it more. And now it's like, oh, I can hear about it, I don't care.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot easier.
Dylan said he's 22. That's what's up, man. So you're born in '96.
Yeah, bro. I remember buying Pink Floyd CDs and having to find out the hard way whether they were good or not.
Exactly. Yeah, lots of stuff. I spent so much. Like, honestly, growing up, I spent all my money on music, all of it, just all of it, whatever I had. Any spare money I had, if I blew it on music, man, like for a long time. And then even in my rap career, trying to push my music, you know, I spent so much money on this shit. And that's why when it started becoming when we started going to technology agencies, I had no problem downloading shit, because I was like, man, see, here's the thing. I was downloading, I literally bought like the NWA Straight Outta Compton album probably four separate times. All right, because I lost it, my friend borrowed it, this and that. So then I didn't even have it at once, and I remember Napster came out. I downloaded that shit. I was like, I already paid for this 4 fucking times. I didn't feel bad. You know what I'm saying?
What CD have you bought more than twice?
More than twice because of any certain reason I lost it.
Maybe you lost it. Maybe you got damaged.
I mean, there's a lot. Like I always tell the story. The first one of the first tapes I bought was LL Cool J's Bigger and Deffer, and I bought it, and I bought it from Kmart, and Kmart had the edited version. He only swears like 6 times in the whole album, but when he swears, they beep, little beep, right? And because Kmart, there was a Kmart by my house, and they had a music section, but everything was edited. And so I'm listening to it, and I'm like, all right. So I was like 10 at the time, and I'm in the car with my mom. So I play it. I'm thinking, okay, it's the edited version, so she can't say nothing. She used to be like a little bit like, I don't know, when it came to like, see, that was the funny thing. She let me watch anything, but when it came to like other shit, she was weird about it. So we were listening to it, and the song, and I heard the song like probably 10 times, but I'm a kid. I didn't know what it meant. I had no idea. I literally thought it meant, like, the song was called Bristol Hotel. I literally thought they were rapping about a hotel, you know, a Holiday Inn, I don't know. What the song's about is they're taking prostitutes there and they're fucking them. That's what the song's about. He doesn't cuss in it at all. Right. All right. My mom's listening to it. She's getting mad. What is this? I'm like, what's wrong with it? I had no clue. Right. Like, why she was mad. It didn't make sense to me. I didn't put it together.
She understood it too.
She understood it. Yeah. And if you go back, if you ever have a chance, go and listen to it. You'll understand it. Just you'll get it. All right. And then when she brought that context to me, I went, okay, so she ejected that bitch and threw it out the fucking window. All right. And I had bought that, and I had, I think, Beastie Boys' Paul's Boutique at the time. And that I could play with no problem. She didn't care, you know, because there was nothing like vulgar in there. Maybe Hey Ladies was the closest thing to it. But I went back, and I ended up buying that fucking, because I wanted to know what the song was about. And she wouldn't, after I told her I don't know why she was tripping, she didn't tell me why. She just kind of like, oh, he didn't even know, and I'm making a big deal about it. You know, let's like I think she kind of felt stupid. Yeah. And she's like, I don't ever want you to buy that stuff again. All right. Next day, I went, I bought that bitch again, and because I wanted to hear it, and I listened to it, and I was like, oh, and I was like,
reverse psychology.
And you know, it really corrupted my mind. When I was young, was fucking 2 Live Crew. All right, because they got to me young. All right, and they're fucking, what is it? Nasty as They Wanna Be, bro. Like, the whole song is fucking. There's fucking sounds in it. I'm like 11, 10. You know, it's fucking crazy to me. All right, that shit was fire back to me, but when I was little. But as far as any, like, you know, the Chronic album I bought a few times. I remember that for some reason because that got circulated around a lot.
I remember being in fourth grade, walking to the dentist, like.
Son God, what up though?
Being outside of, like, I had an appointment early, so I wasn't in school, but I was walking with my Walkman with the Chronic, playing the Chronic, walking to the dentist in like 4th grade or something like that.
You were in 4th grade when the Chronic came out?
3rd or 4th, something like that, yeah.
Wow, I was a freshman in high school, and to me that like.
Freshman? The Chronic?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what, 12, 13. Well, I was like, I graduated when I was 17. I was like a year almost ahead. Because of my birthday, it was either hold me back a year or just go. And then my parents were like, just go. So I was always the youngest in class, and I graduated when I was 17. Everybody else was 18. But so I was like 14 when it came out. And you know, I was heavy into like all hip hop at that point. And to me, the Chronic, I'm sure there were other albums prior or whatever. See, to me, it really opened my eyes. Like, I always loved hip hop, but then I really fell in love with beats when the Chronic came out, because I just felt like the hip hop, in hindsight, hip hop production was really like.
Well, that was a West Coast sound. East Coast sound has such.
It wasn't what's the word? It wasn't popularized really, like, you know, until the Chronic came out.
Yeah.
Was there other stuff like that prior to the Chronic?
Not really, because New York had a really like, it didn't flow like that. It didn't have that rhythm.
Yeah, and I didn't like what FSK said, Public Enemy. Yeah, so Public Enemy is a good example of that. I loved the Fear of Black Nation and their I think Empire Strikes Back, or what the fuck was that album called? Anyways, but I always felt, and it was the sound which went good for at the time, but I felt like the beats, it just had a different it was too grimy and didn't have that like melody to it at all.
Right.
I feel like if you listen to Tupac's Strictly album, all right, that's the last album where he kind of uses those type of beats. And then the Chronic comes out, when Strictly comes out, and then Pac drops Thug Life and Me Against the World, where you had more of that West Coast G-Funk era.
I think that's what like made like Pac's early music was so interesting because it did have that sound. Like Brenda's Got a Baby, it had a good melody to it.
Yeah. Well, Brenda's got the Tupacalypse was a little bit different. He actually the beats on there were it wasn't like that sound where I'm Strictly, like if you go back and listen to Strictly, like Holla If You Hear Me, that beat's good, but it's really got no bass, and it's very grimy, and I don't think it aged well. You know what I mean? Like, maybe for the time, for the time it was definitely fire. That's the song actually that really got me heavy into pop when I heard that, and because he would pop up on Yo MTV Raps here and there and stuff like that. You ever remember watching that? Were you too young?
Yeah. I remember. Well, I came up on everything because of my brother. I just followed his footsteps because he was all into that shit. So I remember like watching Yo MTV Raps, waiting for him to get home, and like late at night, and telling him all about it. Like, oh, they played this song and this song and this song. Yeah, I love Yo MTV Raps. That was the shit.
Epscape makes a good point. He says New York was militant and Cali was laid back. That is the militant kind of feel is what I'm talking about, maybe.
Yeah, it was a choppy beat. Mm-hmm. It was like kind of flat.
Yeah, no 808s, nothing like that.
Yeah, it was like really kick snare. Like,
yeah, just that raw feel.
Yeah, it didn't have you couldn't ride with it, like. Yeah,
that was the thing. Is like, I think when systems became popular, like you have your woofers in the cars. I got suckered into buying them one time. All right, and then fucking my whole car up with the. You ever had speakers in your car?
Oh yeah. I've always since I've had it.
I'm in the shop every day because of it.
Yeah, since I've been driving, I've always been into car audio.
Yeah, and Epscape, the NWA's first album though was. He's saying that they were low-key New York, but the lyrics are Cali gangsta. But I thought, didn't Dre produce that? And it was, I feel like it had elements of it, but I still think like, oh, what's funny? I kind of take it back a little when I say Chronic. Did you ever rock? You were really young probably, but do you remember the DOC?
Yeah. It was before my time that I really.
Yeah, I thought that his first album, I fell in love with that album, and Dre produced that, and he added a lot more elements than I was used to hearing.
He's right though. The NWA did have that feel.
Yeah,
it was New Yorky, and it had the sound effects. It would always be like a sound effects like whistle. Like,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I never really liked that.
Yeah, I think the DOC could have been a god, bro. Like his first album to me is a classic album, and then he got in that car accident and he lost his voice. And he actually dropped the album with no voice, which was ridiculous. Like he talked like O-Red again in the second round against T-Top.
Yeah,
it
sounds like DMC.
It happened at DMC. That's right, Run DMC. That's a fact. Yeah, like oh my god, like imagine being DMC and that like you're iconic.
But I think that was a disease over an accident, right? It was like.
DMC, I don't think. No, that wasn't an accident.
Yeah, it was like something like a disease or something that.
Yeah, I think DOC was one of my favorites, man. Only whatever, could have came from that, but and then he ended up becoming a big writer. He was a big ghostwriter. You know that DOC wrote a lot of shit. Yeah. He wrote a lot of Dre shit. Yella had some bars on the album too. I think did Yella have a rap? I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm sure you know a lot, way a lot more. I wasn't too into that West Coast. I didn't really get into it till like Dre dropped the Chronic, like when Doggy Style and the Chronic was out. That's when I really like opened up to that.
You see, I was into Too Short way before that. Like Too Short, I think was the first West Coast dude I ever listened to. His Life Is Too Short album. He has on his B side of that album, he's got 2 songs. Can't Fight the Feeling and Cuss Words, and they're both like 10 minutes long, and it's literally no hooks, and he's just rapping for the most craziest fucking pimp shit, and I knew Cuss Words was like 10 minutes long, and I was 10, 11 at the time. I knew every single word to that song, if you play it right now, I'll probably remember it all while it's playing. So yeah, he really introduced me to that, and I was always more of a West Coast dude than a New York dude. I got back into New York when Ice Cube left NWA and he hooked up with the Lynch Mob and released his few albums. And I remember people in Detroit didn't like Ice Cube's first album, and I was like one of the guys who really fucked with it.
Is that America?
America's Most Wanted,
yeah.
Or America's Nightmare. No, wait, America's Most Wanted with the KKK.
Yeah, I thought that was the first one.
Yeah, and then there was then he did the license to something. It was like an EP, and then he could go on from there. That's what got me back into it. I was a heavy. I loved Cube, and then where I use this as what kind of led me into my first inclination of ever having that thought of liking battle rap is the Cube Eazy-E NWA beat. To me, that was like a battle, and I was like into it. And they were always in magazines. I bought all the magazines, the rap, bop shit, the fucking whatever the fuck. Well, I was not even talking about sorts. I'm talking about like the teeny bopper rap magazines they used to have back in the day. And they'd be in there, you know, and the articles about it. And that's what really, I love that beef. That's what draw me. I think that was the first type of battle rapish type of deal where, you know, that I remember. And I didn't get into E40 till a little bit later, like 92, 93, or like 94ish. I learned about E40, and this is what's good about collaborations, man. You know, collaborations really, like, I think they're underrated because I learned about a lot of people through collaborations. Like E40 and Pac and Spice One did a song with fucking Max. Fuck, what's the guy's name? And that's where I learned about E40 initially. That's where I learned about Spice One when he did a song with Pac. He had Pac's on his album, and because I bought everything Pac, then that's where I found out about him. Became a fan of him. So collaboration underrated. You know, you get a lot. It's hard to quantify, but I think, you know, like we were telling Jack Boy, when you're in a battle, like he's like, I didn't like the whole part where he's like, well, what's this battle gonna do for me? You know, every day it's doing something for you, like you said. Yeah. You know, you're not gonna notice it, you know, but it's
like a frog in boiling water, right?
Exactly. So, you know, yeah. Man.
I didn't know about a lot of those guys like the E40s and shit like that, because I was more focused on like New York era, like a New York style.
Yeah, and then you know what problem with me is I ended up becoming biased against New York because of fucking Tupac. Because I was very
that was like 95 probably, right? Like the Bad Boy era.
It started. Actually, it was before Tupac. It was Snoop Dogg or the Dog Pound and them were beefing with New York initially. Remember that song New York, New York?
Yeah. That song was trash.
Was fire.
I remember seeing that video for the first time when it came out, and I was
they shot up the trailer there. Somebody shot up the trailer.
Were they kicking the buildings down?
Yeah. Yes. And they blamed Puffy's crew or something for doing it. Well, Suge was blaming them for everything, so who knows? The trigger got no heart. Yep. I was actually just listening to that the other day. I listened to the Menace to Society soundtrack. It's a fire underrated soundtrack.
You see, I got a soft spot for Bad Boy because I do, because growing up, and I've always known the real and about hip hop culture. So when Bad Boy came out, I was against it. I hated it. I thought there were gimmicks with the shiny suit and all the bling bling, like talking about money. And through a certain time in that era, like I did if you can't beat 'em, join 'em. And I think, you know, it had a lot to do with just my environment. A lot of people were playing it. Biggie was really big at the time, so you couldn't really deny it. And I gave in, and I actually enjoyed it. I started listening to it. I bought like P. Diddy and the Family, and I used to rock that shit like all summer long. But I reverted back like after that kind of blew over, and came back to my roots.
What's interesting about that album and that whole Bad Boy situation is, like, I was like, when Pac died, I had it was stupid, but you know, you're young. I had this mentality of, you know, I'm riding for what Pac would have done if he was still alive. So fuck Puffy, fuck Jay-Z, fuck Nas, fuck all these guys. The last time I heard him before he died, it was fuck these guys. All right, so that's my attitude, right? So especially fuck Puffy. So, and I never really liked Puffy before, even before. I always thought he was corny. But so no, yeah. What was it? His Biggie dies, and then Puffy drops his No Way Out album, right? So I was like, fuck this shit. And one of my boys loved it. He was like, always, every time I jump in his car, he's bumping, and I'm like, man, turn this shit off. Put All Eyes on Me on. Like, what the fuck are we listening to? This is trash. All right. And he's like, no, it's not. You're just being a hater because of Pac and blah blah blah. And we'd argue about it, right? So I remember there was like, I don't remember. I was in my car one day, and I thought to myself, maybe I am doing a little too extra because I would only listen to it in the car. So I ended up buying it, and low key, it's a fucking fire album. And we ended up going and seeing. He ended up coming to Detroit, the No Way Out tour, and me and him went and saw him. We had like fifth row. We had like 10th row or something, and bro, the fucking show was fire. Like he put on a fire show, and you know, I think that started getting me to like chill out a little, you know, about that that stuff. But No Way Out was good. I think it was a good album.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has those Biggie joints on there. Biggie's on there a few times actually, and then even the Puffy. Well, now Puffy now I think's trash. Did he? Like that was garbage. Like.
I think Puffy was always garbage. I don't.
I mean, just like
I don't think he wrote anything.
No. He didn't write nothing. He don't write. Yeah. And I really like what's her name, Foxy Brown.
Well,
like Foxy
that
Brown.
was the whole like introduction to Jay-Z. That's where Jay-Z like was made his name. I remember listening to like one of the first Jay-Z tracks I really like listened to was off those albums. I think it was a collab. I think they were all on it, but I just remember a line to keep it ghetto like sunflower seeds and quarter waters. Like it was a really good track, but that's how I got keen to Jay-Z is through them.
I didn't get over my Jay-Z beef because I really hated him because of Pac, but I didn't get over that till Blueprint. It literally took me to Blueprint to even not say Jay-Z's trash. That was my whole point. I know I was wrong. But that was my whole point of view. Jay-Z's like not even. He's literal trash. That's how anytime I heard a song about it, and honestly, it kind of ruined it for me because even when I went back, like always there, and you know, Jay-Z's cool and all, and I like him, and he's one of the best to ever do it, but he never really hit me like that. Even when I got over the situation what I personally had with him for the dumb reason, it still never really wasn't the biggest. I don't know. It just didn't hit me. You know, I think what prior to that had a lot to do with it, but Blueprint, you know, that kind of switched me up, and I would always have this argument. People would be like, "You're being ridiculous, man." What was his albums before that, like in '98?
I always got his albums late. Like I was never running to get it when it like fresh off the press. I always like got it afterwards.
And I liked Harlem World by Mace. I really liked that album. Did you remember that?
I think I remember like a couple good tracks on it. I don't.
For some reason, we were bumping it a lot, and
I might have too. I can't remember.
Yeah.
That whole era, I was fucking with Bad Boy for a good. Okay, I used to bump the shit out of Lil' Kim's album.
I love Lil' Kim.
Fucking reciting, ride dick, die day. You know, like you're singing along to all this bullshit.
The West Side Connection. Did you like that?
Yeah. I thought, no, it was okay. I wasn't really feeling the West Side Connection. I never really liked WC and
Mac 10.
Mac 10.
I got killed about this when I said it in my live a few months ago. I always thought West Side Connection to me was like almost like a ripoff or mocking Pac. with his whole, you know, just like a commercial version of it. Oh, West Coast, everything is, they're throwing the W's up. It's West Side, West Side, West Side. You know, it's just like, I felt like it was like a mocking of him. I know they weren't mocking him.
It almost had a gimmicky feel to it like that, right?
It just felt like
they were going too hard on it.
It was, yeah, every song was like West Coast this, West Coast that. And as solo artist, Dub C, I wasn't the biggest fan of. He was good, but he, you know, he was one of them dudes. Mac 10 I liked a little bit more than Dub, and then I always
paid attention to the lyrics since day one. Like I've always just.
It wasn't saying shit.
That's what I didn't. That's what didn't really get me. Like grasp me, was because their bars weren't there. They weren't really saying anything.
Yeah, we know Epskay. You killed me last time I said this. I remember.
About what?
And hey, I bought all their fucking albums and I bumped them, but I just always had that feeling that it wasn't. It just felt like a rip off of, like, it looked like a parody of what Pac was doing. That's the word I meant. It looked like a parody of the Pac when he was on death row. That's what it seemed to me, you know. And everybody forgets that was 11 months of his life. You know, he got out of jail and died 11 months later, but he's most known for that era, you know.
Which is a damn shame.
Yeah, like literally, he was out of jail and 11 months later. You know, if Interscope would have bailed him out, or if he would have just did a few more months in jail, you know, it would have been a whole different story. He wouldn't have had to go with Suge, but.
Right, people think Tupac's from the West.
Nah, he was born in New York, moved to Baltimore, and then ended up going to Oakland. He grew up in Oakland. His mom, you know, it's been documented. She was like a crackhead, and she moved to Oakland. You know, where it got bad for her there, but he lived there. But that was where he really grew up at. But before, that's where he became his little thug life shit. Because before, he wasn't like that. He went to Baltimore. When he was in Baltimore, he was in like that arts and dancing school, whatever the fuck he was in. You know, he was into all that shit. He was very like, and I've seen interviews when he was like 13, 14 years old, and he used to talk like fucking, you know, like, you know, he talked like how he did, you know, when he was 25. You know, he was very intelligent, and he was very conscious. And I think living in Oakland is what, you know, got him away from all that and having to deal with that shit.
Well, I think that's where he hooked up with like Shock G and shit, right? Digital Underground.
That's where he hooked up with Shock G, and he was just a dancer initially, you know.
Cause that was my era, man. I remember I loved the Humpty when I loved the video. I was young, jamming out to it.
Yeah, Humpty Dance was.
I didn't even realize, like, put two and two together till like way after. I'm like, oh yeah, that was Tupac, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, well, how would we? You know, he wasn't. But then I heard that same song. He did. That was his first time he ever rapped on, you know, to the public. You know, he had a few tracks before that, but they were nothing special, like very like generically. But these are his first tracks. But his first time ever showing to the public, and there was the same song. And they needed a verse or something, and Pac was the dancer at the time, and he was like, he wanted to get into it, and he was like, I got a verse, you know. And they gave it to him, and then, you know, Star was born.
Yeah, I was listening to Shock G interviews where he was talking about how he put Tupac on, and Tupac was basically homeless at that time, and he was just trying to look out for him, give him a job, like doing anything on tour with him, like just giving him stuff to do just to keep him off the street and keep him like under his wing.
Yeah, because his mom was out there fucking around, bullshitting. It's got to be hard, you know, with that kind of shit. But
1 second.
Hey, he blew up, man. He blew up, but then whatever.
1 second, I'm gonna grab the door.
Yeah, you good. What up, Atsuke? What up, Kazuma? What up, Doe? Jay Biz, appreciate you, bro. It's fired. It's fired. Did the Underground was another East Coast, West Coastish group? I see where that. Shock G was interesting, bro. He was like the Humpty character, and then at first I didn't know it was different people. Maybe I was naive. But I didn't put it together right away, but then I did. And their shows were always just like look super fun, you know. Their motto was just have fun and be crazy, and that's what their shows were. And I think that's, you know, well, that's what's up, man. Like, you know, 80s just were in general, or it's just you know, the rock and roll shows. It was a party. And then we went into this whole, especially in rock and roll, in this 90s phase, early 90s phase, where it was where you had your like Pearl Jams and your Nirvanas who were fire, and you know, but bands like that where it was more emo rock that got popular. Your fucking what was those one guy's names, man? Fuck, man. Not Green Day, but I'm talking about the transition from, because it seemed like everything was really fun. Like Digital Underground was really had fun. They were fun. You know, their shows were full of fun. So, and so were like a lot of the rock and roll was you know, they're generally fun. And then they turned it in the early 90s into, and even rap did it where it got more militant, like FSK was saying. But then the rock became more emo-ish and like less about, you know, it was like a rebellion against the 80s hairspray era, I guess we could call it. And which I was into, bro. Hey,
Live.
I don't give a fuck. Y'all can kill me. I loved Bon Jovi. I thought Slippery When Wet was a fire album.
Bon Jovi.
I was loving that shit. All right. I loved Bon Jovi. All right. I loved Def Leppard, Pour Some Sugar on Me when I was 10 was the shit. Are you kidding me? When you first hear that song, you never heard it, and it's new in the world. All right. That motherfucker give you goosebumps. I don't give a fuck. And I like that shit. I liked Whitesnake. I liked a few of their songs. But I was growing up on fucking MTV back then when it just came out. And that's all they fucking played was all day long. They played like, you know, they'd have like 15 videos. And they just play those all day long. You know, back, and you ended up liking it even if you didn't. Because you would have to. So I liked Poison. I thought Poison was fire. Guns N' Roses were my favorite, but I don't even consider them.
That was who else was a popular, like Black Hole Sun? Who played Black Hole Sun? It was like the same era.
What are you talking about? The Freebirds or the Leonard Skinner?
No, I want to say Stone Temple Pilots, but it wasn't them.
Oh no, I thought you were thinking of something else. Oh, but that came. That's what I'm talking about. It transitioned into that, right? So it became the Green Days and the Nirvanas and there was another band I'm trying to think of. They were really popular, but I just can't remember their name. They had a lot of weird songs that got popular. And I didn't like that shit, man. I'll be honest. I liked Nirvana only, and I really didn't like any of the other shit. It kind of like killed rock for me. And I don't know. Metallica was fire, yeah. Slayer. I wasn't the biggest Slayer fan. I liked Metallica though. And I didn't really consider Metallica. Like Metallica was just on another level.
Yeah, I wasn't big on Metallica. My cousin loves Metallica.
Them, I wasn't. I don't consider them like the Hairspray bandish type people.
You know what I actually got into? Let me turn the speaker on because I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, the Napster situation soured me on Metallica right away. They sued the people downloading their stuff. Like that's the stupidest like route to go.
In high school, I got into.
Son guy, shut up.
In high school, I got into like Korn.
I never liked Korn, man.
No.
I like Limp Bizkit more than Korn.
Limp Bizkit. I listened and was a fan of like Marilyn Manson.
I never liked him either.
And this is really extreme, but mind you, I was always listening to a variety of music. Like I said, Pink Floyd. I used to listen to Pink Floyd a lot. You know, like.
Yeah, all the classic shit.
Yeah, like I'll listen to like old classic rock like that, and and during that era, that transition, it was just like in your face. It was popping like Korn, Limp Bizkit. It was a huge wave at that time. Yep. Everybody was wearing those fucking Jinko jeans. You know, huge.
And then
Trench Coat Mafia was around that era.
ICP came out.
Yeah. That must have been weird and living in Detroit with that whole era, right? The ICP era.
Bro, okay, so I was a big Kid Rock. See, what people don't understand about Kid Rock, and what kills me now is like he's really like he's been misinterpreted, like especially the last couple of years. I've been rocking with Kid Rock since 1991. All right, his first album was a hip hop album, and he was on tour with Ice Cube and Too Short. They did a country tour, like the United States tour. He was on tour with them. He had that song, the fucking Eating the Pussy. I forgot the fucking song. Anyways, and that album wasn't really that good. I didn't like him for that album. he ended up incorporating like rock and rap in his next album, and I really liked that. It was called the Polyfuse Method, which probably no one's heard of, but anyone only got to be from Detroit to know that. Anyways, he had a beef with ICP, and so I didn't like them because of that. And then Eminem didn't like them, so and I didn't like them. I didn't think their music was good, and there'd be juggalos I'd be seeing around, and them people made me. I hated juggalos, man, because they were really like living. They were like different people. They really did. Like if you, I knew a few juggalos, and I would be hanging out with them for some reason. I don't know how I ended up hanging out with them, you know. And they're weird, and
white people.
White people, yeah. But yeah, I was a huge Kid Rock fan, and he I don't know, I just think he gets a bad rap now because of, I mean, to say he's racist is fucking ridiculous, all right?
Yeah.
Because he's not racist, bro. You guys don't know nothing about him. I know his whole life story. I've seen a million interviews with him, all right? He had his kid's half black, you know? He has a song called White Kid, White Guy, Black Girl. And the whole song's about the struggles of inner whatever the fuck relations. What's the word?
Yeah, I never got that racist vibe from Kid Rock. Even when he was
everybody says it a lot.
Even when he was extreme with the like really like patriotic look.
And it was the flying of the Southern flag, but he was always doing it. And
I don't know why he even did that, because he's not even like from the South. He's from Detroit, right?
Well, this is what I know everything about him. So what happened? And he was always into country music growing up, and so and I guess he had family in the South, and he would always go down there, and he was always into Hank Williams Jr. He ended up doing songs with Hank Williams Jr. They ended up hooking up and stuff. So he always like had that Southern pride, whatever. You know, we grew up on the Dukes of Hazzards. I never really thought of it like that, but until it was pointed out to me, you know, like I didn't really I always thought it was a Southern pride thing, you know, but I get it now. And I mean, he gets it now. He doesn't do it no more. But it wasn't really like looked at like that back then, you know, as it is now. What was my point in all that?
Yeah, it was very light back then, because it's not like it is today, where a Confederate flag goes on and everybody sounds off the alarms.
No, yeah, it was no one would even bat an eye before. Yeah. You know, but you know, we had a Dukes of Hazzards. I used to watch that shit.
You know what's funny about the Confederate flag, right? I'm Spanish, from Spanish heritage, Puerto Rican. My mom had bought this picture. I think she got it at a yard sale. But it was a picture of like this country mansion. You know, probably in the South somewhere. So it was a nice mansion, a picture, like it was kind of like half painting. And never noticed it, but the mansion had a Confederate flag on it. so the picture had a Confederate flag on it, and nobody ever thought of anything. My sister pointed it out to me one time. He's like, oh look, this picture has a Confederate flag. Like, huh? You know, and I looked at it, I'm like, oh, you're right. Like nobody even thought of it, you know.
Yeah, and
my mom would never think of something like that. She's ignorant to all that.
Exactly. And then you know, he came back, he had his whole background was hip hop, and I've been to like 20, 30 of his shows, and at least I've seen Kid Rock live more than anybody, you know, by far, like more than because first of all, his shows are amazing, and I was watching him before I've been to his I was going to his shows when there were 30 people in the place, literally 30 people, and he would perform the same way he does now in the big stage, literally the same way, and half his band is black, you know. I don't like his drummer is that black lady. She's, you know, I've actually met her, and it just kills me because now I think it was his support of Trump, and then that you know, but I don't know why everyone just goes straight to the racist shit. All right, like it's just, why is that racist? Like maybe the flag a little bit more, but just because you support Trump doesn't mean you're racist. Like that's crazy. That means that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like there is a lot of black and Hispanic people that do support Trump, you know.
I mean, his support's through the roof with black people and Hispanic. It's the highest it's ever been for any Republican in history. I think black people are supporting it. It's like 30% now. And for
well, it's just so extreme. It's like, oh, you either hate him or you gotta love him, and like you can't just, you know. I got bad things to say about every fucking president.
Yeah,
we're just cherry picking this one.
Exactly. I mean, you know, George Bush, Bush had.
Oh God. From the Clintons to the Bushes to.
Yeah, Clintons.
Yeah, we're not gonna open this bag of worms.
Yeah, I go on for. But there was a point for me bringing that up. I forgot why. It wasn't even what I said. But
you know how I first saw when I first saw Kid Rock, it was in a bike video. Cause back when I was a teenager, when I was getting into BMX and stuff.
Little cowboy.
I forgot. It was it was his video, his music video, or.
Oh, it's Bob.
I have no idea. I don't even know what you're saying.
You don't know? Oh, you don't know that album, right?
No. No, I've never been a Kid Rock listener. I just known him through the airwaves and like MTV at the time and stuff. But the first time I saw him was in a bike video. They were playing his music and having a conversation with him. They were playing the music and having a conversation with him. I think it might have actually been a voicemail where he was talking. He was just like explaining a story over a voicemail or some shit. But
yeah.
I saw him blow up later on, and I was like, "Oh, that's Kid Rock."
See, he can play he can play every instrument very well. Plays guitar, plays piano, plays drums. So in this show, he does a set where he does all that, like a whole 15-minute set where he goes to each instrument, rocks the drums out, rocks the guitar out like crazy.
I wish I could do that shit, you know?
Yeah, he's literally got every skill. He got on the piano. He fucking busted out a flute one time. It was fire on that.
You know, Disaster plays the keys.
Disaster?
Yeah. I've seen him on Instagram Live, like just playing.
Remember Disaster singing at Total Slaughter?
They were saying those weren't even the lyrics or some shit like that. I don't know.
What, did he get them wrong? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. It's all good.
No, that's funny, man.
Love the concept of that fucking show, man.
Of Total Slaughter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely
that was fire,
love
man.
it.
It was like a real world with battle rappers.
It's such a treat for us fans. Like that was such a special moment, even if it was terrible for them. But it was like,
you know, what killed me though? All that choking that was going on in that little room. I was like, what the fuck?
In the basement?
Yeah, like I think who choked? Everybody was choking.
I think they were just overwhelmed and nervous.
Yeah, and it's like, damn. Like, cause you know these guys are fire. You've heard them before. You've heard them. You've seen all these battles. These are the top guys.
Yeah.
You know, this is Cortez,
it looked embarrassing.
Disaster, Daylight. I think Daylight choked, or I don't remember. And then what I really hated was Joe Budden and his fucking voting. The way he voted, he literally was. He was saying he was just voting.
Oh, he was being a dick.
Spite.
Yeah, he was being
voting
a
out
dick.
of spite. He's like, that was cool, but fuck Disaster. I'm going with Daylight.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure I've heard that before. It's like everybody's
really, we're doing
everything
right now.
Everybody's saying is you're gonna hear it before, because that's just the way it is. You're on television. You're gonna pull out your shit.
Yeah, and then he goes and they get Daylight on the fucking thing, and look what Daylight pulls. Could you? So what would it have been? Disaster and T-Rex if he would have voted for Disaster? Because the other guys voted. It would have been he was the deciding vote.
I think Diz won that. I think they gave it to Diz. I think Crooked Eye gave it. I think Crooked Eye at the end gave it to Diz, which voided Joe's decision anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Joe was the deciding for some reason. But then how did he end up losing? He lost his next one?
I think so. Because that was between him and Math, wasn't it?
Yeah, you might be right. I can't remember.
The Slaughterhouse version of him and Math.
Yeah.
I think that's when that happened. I could be completely wrong, but...
Right. I haven't watched it in forever. I went back and watched it a few times, like after it came out on YouTube and shit. But, you know, I listen, man. Honestly, okay, so Hollow and Joe Budden, I might be. If you had to put a fan who if you had to find a fan who thought that battle was good, I'd probably be like at the top there, and everyone else thinking it as not as good as I think it was. I like the battle, man. I don't know. I mean, I thought Hollow snapped in the first round.
Yeah.
I liked what he was saying about Eminem and shit, and then I liked the second round, and then his third round wasn't that bad.
Well, you did get see his interview with Chris Unbiased, the behind the scenes shit.
Yeah, he claims he was throwing it and shit, like because he was mad about everything. Yeah. You believe that?
I do. Because the proof is in the pudding. If you look at his performance, he was just like, he was doing exactly what he was talking about. He was just walking back and forth on stage, walking in front of the host, being disrespectful, like throughout the whole announcement with Swave. He purposely fucked up the mic.
He left. He ended up leaving after he won before they announced it. He left the stage. And I remember Sway announced he was the winner and he wasn't there. And
probably.
Yeah, he wasn't even there. And yeah, I mean, FSK, you're right. He says it wasn't organic. It felt like WWE. I'm not talking about the setup. I'm just talking about what he was saying to Joe. I liked it, man. But it was garbage. It was trash. What was it? Like, I don't know. I got one room. I got Joe. It wasn't
terrible.
It was good. It was good.
And especially like us Hollow fans, we're just gonna rock with it anyways. You're just
that first round was great, man. Even with Hollow doing the corny shit he was doing because he's trying to blame it. Mall's lit right now, J-Biz. Them Seattle malls. But I thought it wasn't that bad, and I never really liked the Lux Mook battle. I always thought Lux had a good first round, but his second and third weren't good at all. And Mook, and then I was mad at Mook. It just seemed like Mook was doing Hollow's angle against Lux in a different way.
You swear by that, huh?
You don't think that happened? I mean, isn't it obvious? What was Mook's whole angle? You say stuff that's intricate, but it doesn't really mean shit. That was the whole angle. That's Hollow just did all that, the whole round of it. Better. And T-Rex and Daylight, what are you even supposed to say about that? And then was it Arsenal Big T? Is that what it was? The other battle on there? You don't even remember or care, do you? I think it was Arsenal Big T.
Those battles are like so insignificant. Like I remember T-Rex and Daylight.
Trash.
But I remember it. That's the thing. It was memorable for one reason or the other. Obviously the Hollow Joe and Lux and Mook.
Do you think
I don't know who else battled?
I think it was Arsenal and Big T. Do you think that I think that was it. Because this is what I thought what was going to happen, but it didn't. And I think it would have been fire if Daylight did what he was doing, and then in that third round takes the suit off and just fucking snaps. Like,
That's what. See, this is the thing. That's what they were saying. Like he was saying that we should give Daylight more big ups because in the business side of things, they were trying to exploit them all, and Daylight doing that was shitting just like Hollow shit on it. Daylight was shitting on it as well. He was taking a stand and saying, "Fuck this shit. You're gonna pay me crumbs," and I don't know. What do you think? You think
Murder Mook recently spoke on this, and he had a lot of issues with that movement because he feels like they were just maybe they didn't know a lot of maybe they should have asked more questions or brought more people's input in, but they were wanting to be involved, and then I guess all the antics that were pulled soured them, and that's why they never want to do it. Do you think that was a good thing in the long run, or kind of a really bad thing?
Yeah, I think they snubbed him.
So you think that was a good idea?
Yeah, I think we stood up. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I mean, I have mixed feelings about it. I hear what they're saying, but then it's like, it's a big backing. And if you can at least get it, get creatively try to, let's be real. I mean, for their first ever battle rap show, all right, would people feel different if there was just people on stage? Is that what it is? We just had people on stage. They allowed all the people on stage. That just changed the whole thing.
It was a weird stage. It was a weird
stage.
it was like, yeah, it was just, it would have been awkward no matter
Because
what.
you know, Lux, his whole thing was to have his whole crew behind him. That's why he's wearing that little tracksuit.
Well, he kind of ended up with him anyways, right?
Yeah, but he said he had the reason why what he was wearing correlated with what his crew was wearing, and it was all part of the show.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let him. They wouldn't let him on behind him.
That's the so. How do you feel about that? You thought he should have had the right to do it, or do you think that's just you're gonna go by company policy, whatever they enforce?
I mean, look, at the beginning of the day, you know, that's their show. They hired you. If that's what they want, that's what they want. But I would have really lobbied against it prior to the show and tried to convince them. If they don't get convinced, you know, you roll with it. But
does it feel like a right to do it?
Like a right from the battlers, just you know, like I think they should have just had more input.
A civil right or the business right to fucking do it. And that's where,
business can do what they want. It's their show.
And that's where big media comes in. And are they doing the things that are necessarily not even right from wrong, but that you would want?
No, that's my problem with battle rap going mainstream.
Right.
I'm telling you guys that no one believes me. I'm sure some people do. Battle rap goes mainstream. It's over. There's no more battle rap.
They come in muscling.
It's over. All right. Once you start, okay. First of all, they're gonna start censoring. Now what? Once you start censoring, it's over. I can't even say midget anymore. I guess. All right. Apparently, I was told that. I didn't know.
They're little people.
That is so demeaning. It sounds worse.
But it varies throughout little people how they feel about it. Some may not care.
Sure
some may be.
I ever run into won't mind midget. What does that mean though? Is there a reason why that's not? I thought it just meant little people. Is it a disparaging term or something?
I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
I'm not a little person to tell you.
Let's see if Webster is a real word. I think it is. It's not an Urban Dictionary, I'm sure. I think it's a real word. So
salute everybody. Capital.
And if it's a real word, why can't I say
cut. Epskate still here.
Blogger in the cut.
Matt Bank always watching. J Biz. This girl's spending all his money at the mall.
All right, midget in the actual dictionary means an extremely or unusually small person. So what the fuck? It's a dictionary word.
I know, but it's derogatory somehow.
Whatever. Well,
I think it will vary whether it is or isn't.
No, I heard that, but
But the PC says to call them little people.
Well, what's gonna happen if battle rap goes mainstream and then like, how many like?
Well, you said it. We're kind of already there. You got a couple movies coming out. You got it's as big as it's ever been. You got the internet age, which is pushing shit all over the place.
Blogger in the cut. It hasn't been announced yet. They're still playing games. They're still playing games on the whole. Are they gonna make it a private event or not?
Oh, who knows?
I think that they will. I mean, they won't. But I don't see any sense of it. You know, okay, for Joel. So Summer Madness, there were a lot of lies said prior up. Oh, it's a 700, 1,000 people venue. Even during the pay-per-view, Jay Black and Tech Nine reiterated that fake number.
I called it. I was off by like 100 people, but.
Well, every battler that did a interview afterwards said there was about 150 to 200 people there.
That's what I said.
And it held more. It could have easily held more. That's all they invited. And
I knew they would do that. That's why you weren't invited, DME.
Yeah, I know. We don't want to see our accusers face to face. What did Beasley say in his?
We don't want it. I didn't even pay attention. He said you don't want to see your accusers face to face.
Yeah, he was like, should we open the doors to the public and have the URL have to meet their accusers face to face? You know, like the bloggers who accused them of making all this money.
Or fans.
Huh?
This is part of the show.
Yeah, he's being tongue in cheek.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying.
But there was only like 100, and then everyone was complaining that the vibe was off and they didn't like it. So why would they go ahead and do that again when they could fill it up but only have it small? Like everyone, like a lot of people, battlers are using it as an excuse for the energy being down. I'm sure it's just excuses, but I'm sure mentally it might play a role. You know, it's especially with the Summer Madness name. I know this is just the strike, but it's a fire card that deserves at least 500 people to be in the building.
Whoa, she's
especially
down,
if you
baby,
can.
she's
Oh,
down.
the black screen goes down. Especially if
this is actually the green screen.
It's the green screen. Oh, that's the green. Was that green? See, I'm colorblind. They quick to be petty. What up, Capology? I don't know. I think it would be smart to open it up because I think you would. The crowd is good. It's good. Unless it's a smack volume, I like a crowd. You know, I think the smack volume should only be like limited, and then I don't know if you can have a crowd, and if you're in a venue that holds 5 to 1,000 people, why not do
They're
it?
just doing petty shit, man. One sec.
So, there you go. So I don't know. That's how I see it, man. But you never know. DME battle rap tears. Bootleg battle rap. Yeah, that's a fact. Is he going to RBE left just so? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm sure when he hears the rest of the card, he'll make that decision. Visual, they're asking if you're going to Lift His Soul 5.
I would love to. Guys, I'm broke.
You know, you guys
I got
just call
tons
up
of
Lawrence.
I got student loans just on my ass.
J Legend got connections, man.
Shout out to RBE, shout out to Lawrence, man. We chopped it up, and they've definitely been very welcoming.
No, yeah, RBE's definitely they're good people. Shout out to King Fly from King of the Die. He's pretty cool. Shout out to Norbs. You know, me and Norbs almost made up, but Jay messed that up. Jay messed me and Norbs is like.
I'm gonna put my Norbs picture back up on my Abby.
Because Norbs reacts to a video title where I'm not even saying nothing bad about him, but Jay is, and assumes it was me. Watch the video, Norbs. All right, and then you can see who was ragging on you. But I'm back to my Norbs is fat era. We're back to that again. Fuck him. Because he still hasn't released Dom. What's the point of announcing?
Fatter than ever, baby.
Why do that?
What's that?
3 weeks ago, he announces on Twitter, Norbs, Don Marino and Gunpowder Pat's coming out in 2 days. No, tomorrow or something. Never comes out. Then he announces it's coming out in about a week later. Never comes out. Then he announces it's coming out on his birthday. Then drop it. Like, why you keep announcing it? Why are you playing games? What's the point of that? Being funny? You think it's funny? For what?
Have you listened to his podcast?
Yeah, I like Norbs. I like Norbs' podcast, man. I like him. I like his interview style. I think he should stick to those more than when he does those fucking FaceTime interviews with like Hip Hop Is Real.
I've never seen it. What does he talk about?
In his podcast?
Yeah.
Well, he usually has a guest. So it's always a battler. He's had Av on there.
Does it become an interview?
It's like an interview, but they're just talking shit, you know. And, they just talk about whatever. He's had Tay-Rock on there. I haven't listened to all of them. I think he's got like 10 episodes. I'll probably listen to like 3 or 4. J Biz loves this Visual and DME combo. We should do it more, he says. You got it, J Biz. And
the 2-on-2 forces me to talk because I'm usually quiet on the 3-way.
That's probably why they love it. Yeah, because Visual gets to talk. Because Jay, you know.
Oh, when you guys get me drunk, I'm a fool.
Jay's
Not
funny,
tonight.
man. Be like, never mind. I don't want to say that. Shout out to Jay the Legend. The War Report pretty good and insightful. Yeah, they fell off for a while. I used to listen to them back in the day when they had like Posey on there. Well, I didn't listen to them, but when they had them on there, but I went back and listened to them. I was put up onto them, but I heard them. I used to listen to them before that Posey era when it was like maybe 2014 or no, after that, 2017, right before they stopped doing anything. And now he's like back trying to reignite it. Hey, salute to that, man. Why not? Why not? More content, the better. That's how I feel. If I don't want to watch it, I won't. If it's trash, I don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But if at least it's there, I got an option. Otherwise, nothing. That's why I don't get, like, I know they're just trolls and everyone tells me not to listen to them, and I don't. But, you know, I find them curious. I'm listening to Black Compass yesterday, and Iron Solomon comes on. And there's a troll in there, and just for the whole interview, he's just bashing Iron and bashing Iron. This is trash. I'm not here to listen to this shit. That for an hour.
Is that the one saying
fucking
time?
Get off!
Is that the one saying time?
Yeah, the one I got into it. The Lord Moon Jamar guy, the fucking racist.
Yeah.
And why? Like, why spend? If you really feel that way, why would you watch it for an hour and complain about it?
You know why? When you go to events, you never meet or come across somebody that's saying negative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's because the people that actually go to these events and really are enthusiasts put a lot of time and effort into this, so they take a little bit extra time and care over just discrediting it or being like that or being negative. That's why you never see these people at events, because they don't even put the energy in to go to these events.
Yeah,
they just like to talk crap.
Lord Mover's DME.
They like to be negative Nancy's all the time.
Like, I get it. You want to drop a few troll comments, but man, no, let's stop. And you're not listening to the guy. You have no interest in what Iron's got to say. You know, I don't know. But then he got on the fucking radio show because they were like, pull up. I was at work, otherwise I would have.
He got on?
He got on. Because I kept telling him to pull up. I told him, download Zoom, jump on the show, say it to my face. And then he's like, well, get on the radio. I want you to say that shit to my face. I don't like phones, man. I don't like, all right. So I was on the Black Compass last week with Battle Truth and Polo and the dudes. And it was good. It was fun, but listen, phones are boring to me. All right. Something in my mind when I'm just like this or whatever, talking, it's hard I can't engage. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not myself. And I'm not really like even listening. Like, I'm having a hard time paying attention because it's like, I know there's something wrong with me because I'm always like this. Like,
I'm super spacey I'm spacey as it is, but I'm spacey on the phone. My mind just starts drifting out.
Yeah, so it's like and then so everyone was like, well, you weren't like the same. You were like too laid back, But it was just because, well, first of all, you got Battle Truth doesn't shut up. Polo definitely doesn't shut up, and it was hard to even get a word in. And I've never been in a debate format where there's fucking 5 or 6 guys on the line.
Hey, that's how it feels with you guys. Sometimes I gotta like double dutch to find an
right,
opening.
right. But at least with this, I feel like I have more. I can see you, so I can read your facial expressions, so I can know where I can jump in, or know when I can. And when it's on the phone, I don't fucking know. Like, and then I start saying something, and hold on, Damien, I gotta say this, It's like, all right, and then plus I can't get animated when I'm like this. I can't. I need my hands. I need my freedoms, and I need to see who I'm talking to. This is my point. So I told the guy, download Zoom, run up, pull up, right? And he ends up jumping on the Discord, and they put him on the show because Tony Bro's getting mad at him. He's like, DME will bother you, like, leave him alone. And bro, this kid jumps up, man. He sound like he's like 16, no bass in his voice, sound like a little bitch. All right. And then Tony Bro asked him, "What's your problem with DME? What the fuck?" You know what the first thing he says? "What do you mean?" He called me a culture vulture. After 10 minutes of me ignoring you and you calling me that. And that was it. Then he kind of dropped it. He started talking about fucking something else. So I bodied him. I know you do, on the way. I know. So, I mean, yeah, like this is a kid who's like fucking 15, 20 years old. And look how fucking demented his mind is, because who knows what he listens to. Everything's about race with him. You know, I just have a low tolerance for people like that.
Well, to an ignorant mind, this would be a very hateful genre. The way it's portrayed.
That's true. Yeah. They wouldn't let me on the show. I held up the line on Discord. Epsky trying to get on the show. So yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like even when Jack Boy hit me up to do the show, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know where his head was at, and I like the fact that it was on the Zoom, on the camera, because you know, I like if he called me on the phone and was saying whatever. You know, I have a hard time picking up sarcasm sometimes or whatever, but I'm way better at it if I can see you. You know, like I think people's body movements and facial expressions has a big tell, and and then like, you know, right away, you know, it was because he was just like, you know, I want to get on the show. I heard you be talking crazy about me. I want you to say it to my face. I was like, bet, let's run it, let's do it. And the guy was super cool, man, super cool. And he gets, I think, I think his mind is right where he wants to go. I think he wants to get better, and he's trying to learn what his whole point. I still think he's wrong in the way he looks at certain things, but at least he's trying to see why he's wrong, you know, and not just being hard-headed about it, you know, which I've had always a problem in my life doing especially when I was younger, is thinking I'm right about something, looking back, people telling me I was wrong, and in my head, I'm 100% sure something, but then when you get older, you're like, no, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yep, and you think you got it all figured out now, and 10 years from now, you're gonna look back and like, wow.
100%. Right now, I'm like, oh yeah, I do it right now. I'm sure, right? I do it right now. I'm positive.
I was having this conversation today earlier.
Yeah, it's like, why is now any different than later? You know, earlier. You know.
You're wiser, but you're still dumber, you know, like than you would be 10 years from now.
That's funny, man. Jack Boy intelligent. I had to go in on him out of love. I don't understand how people can have hate in their heart. Yeah, it's how you're raised, man. You know, I think it has a lot to do with it.
Well, some people are just.
If you're raised like that, and that's what you know. Or, you know, you're gonna.
Some people are just fucking crazy too.
Huh?
Some people are just fucking crazy too.
Yeah. People are just crazy, but I think they end up becoming crazy because of their upbringing. You know, lots of shit affects you, man.
Yeah, a lot of
shit.
A lot of people are just naturally just off.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have your cuckoos.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Well, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. You'd be surprised.
There's more than we think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, this generation.
But you know, they said that about my generation before. It was always I remember growing up and this generation, like hip hop is just starting. What is this shit? You know, what is this music? What is the beats? What are these kids listening to? This is garbage. And then, you know, I think it's just
I've always thought
it could be worse now because of the internet, but
I always thought about like what's gonna be the next hip hop.
But what could get worse than mumble rap?
Well, that's still like.
The heck can only get better from here, I think.
I don't know. You think it's something that's like hip hop is something so completely different from like any other type of genre, like music.
Yeah, no, it is because
so
it could be so many different things.
So what's the next like?
Because all hip hop really is, if the core, if you're talking about the music aspect, is drum machine, and then lyrics. And then you could do whatever you like. There's so many different ways you can go about that.
Well, it's the drums.
I'm sorry?
The drums.
The drums, yeah. Hip hop's incorporated in everything. It got incorporated into rock, R&B, pop music, because it's the aspect of an MC spitting bars or whatever can be put into any music. You could rap on a country song. I think Nelly did, right? and so yeah, what would be the next popular wave of hip hop? Who fucking knows? But you know, I think I was thinking about this earlier. Do you think 2018 music was way better than 2017 music? Because I do. If you think about what came out this year opposed to last year, I think we've gone a better route.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Because you're not really into it, right?
No.
I think last year there was a lot, like what was really popping was all that shit. The mumbles. They were hardcore last year. I think they're kind of getting on the back burner now. You know, especially when you look at the charts, they're not really up there right now. You got your Eminems, even Nicki's on there. Well, she fell off, but like if I go to the top 50 right now, iTunes with most, and why I love iTunes over billboards or any of the other bullshit, their system is literally number one is the most played from the week from right now, right? It's getting the most plays. There's nothing else to it. That's just getting the most plays. That's why when Eminem drops his album, his whole album is 1 through 13 because everybody's listening to it, right? So he's obviously getting more plays than anybody else. So even his skits are ranking. So after about a week, it kind of, you know, levels it out so you know which songs are hot or not. But and that's why everyone was like, well, Revival. That's my whole point in the Eminem thing was because they were saying, well, he only liked the shit, or he's only selling, or people aren't listening because he's white. But how come they didn't like Revival? How come Revival didn't chart? Well, Revival sold a lot. All right, it sold a lot. But if you go to when Revival dropped, like 1 or 2 songs were in the top 50 at any time in iTunes. That means nobody was playing it. So if you just listen to him because he's white, why didn't they play Revival? But why are they playing the shit out of Kamikaze? That's where that argument falls flat for me. And
who do you think is pulling?
If something's trash, you're not going to listen to it.
So who do you think is pulling the strings?
As far as what?
Whether it gets put on or not.
No, well, in iTunes, it's just whoever listens, like the fans. If you go to not iTunes but Apple Music, if you go to their top charts, it's literally number 1 is being played the most right now than anybody. Like it gets the most clicks. That's number 2 is the same thing. But when you look at the billboards and all that, it's different. Like especially like when you look at selling, Nicki Minaj's whole problem with I'm not number 1 because this guy's packaging T-shirts with CDs and that kind of that it sells. All right, but in this you can't do none of that. It's just clicks. So Travis Scott's number 1, Sicko Mode. Then you got the Kanye song, I Love It. Little Baby and Gunna. Number 3, I don't know what that is. And Fifi. See, Eminem really dropped. Like, where's the first Eminem song? But it's been like 3 weeks. But these songs, okay, Lucky is number 6 by Eminem. All right, so he's still got that, and then The Ringer is at 12. So he's pretty much, the people have stopped listening to it. I mean, as far as these other songs go. And then a lot of these people, I don't know, but I feel like it's better than it was last year is my point. I don't know. Because last year was just, that's where I really started hating music. Maybe year? 2016 more.
You got a lot of patience.
What? Oh, well, you know, even like, okay, now I'll say I hate this shit, but there'll be some shit that's trash that I'll get into, you know, because it's catchy, you know, and I'll fuck with it. So, and I always give songs a chance. I'll listen to this shit. But some of, like, I fucking hate the Migos, man. I thought that fucking Culture 2 was the worst album ever. And that song with Drake is top 5 worst songs ever. Mainstream songs. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk. Shut the fuck up, man. It's not even good. It's not good. It's the worst. What are you doing? Are you a fucking duck, man?
It slaps.
Who wants to hear that?
It slaps, though.
But the beats are banging. Every song, every song on that album, not one of them have a bad beat. Not one. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because the fucking production's so good, it doesn't matter what the fuck these idiots are saying, man. It's trash. Who's gonna fight me? Migos are garbage, man. They're trash.
Dippity poop.
Huh?
Dippity boop.
I hate it, bro. I hate it. And I tried listening to it, man. Like Bad and Bougie's a decent song. Okay, but that's like their best song, right? Or the best, most popular one.
Well, that's I don't know. just grew not to give a fuck because I would. That's what I was like so against, is just like this bullshit mainstream BS, just complete garbage, but it was hot garbage.
Yeah, and like I said, like I remember listening to the Migos Culture 2 at my house, and I was really mad. And then I'm on Twitter, and there's some, it's got mixed. People say it's trash, people say it's amazing. One guy's like, you gotta hear it in your car, bro. You gotta hear it in your car.
Yeah.
Because that's how I like listening to music anyways. Full blast in my car, that's to me, that's the #1 experience in music. Better than have loud headphones or anything. To me, driving full blast is the best music experience. So I played this shit in the car, and I was fucking, it was bumping. But then I'm like, no, man, this is fucking garbage.
Those are the beats you want for the car.
Yeah, like they're like every song.
If you got
like,
some subs.
Even Walking Like I Talk It was banging, right? But then like these guys are, what the fuck are you saying, man? It's just, and then it's like, this is the top shit.
So I heard, so I've been seeing that Lil Wayne got
Lil Wayne
got the company.
Baby?
He got the company and he's dropping the Carter.
They're dropping it?
I think they gave a date.
Is it the Carter from 5 years ago, or did he redo it?
It's the Carter 5.
But is it from when he made it, or are they redoing it?
I don't know.
It's 5-year delay.
I don't follow Wayne like that, but I just see it's finally.
That was supposed to come out, I think, like 3 or 4 years ago.
But at least it's finally settled, right?
Yeah, but I don't know how I feel about him making up with Baby.
Making up? I don't know the details, but
it's been pretty, like, almost like shown to be a fact. I don't even think Baby denies it at this point.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he tried to get him killed.
Oh.
He got shot up one time, and I guess it was one of his hits. I don't fuck. I'm pretty sure it was.
I always thought that whole shit was weird with the whole, like, I don't know, it was like too friendly.
And he definitely robbed him for like $50 million, purposely.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, for real, like straight up. So how do you, like? I feel like Baby's always had a spell around Lil Wayne, like, because he's like his stepfather in a way. He got him when he was nothing, and made him famous. And but the problem was, this is a guy who had nothing at the time, but could have still been Lil Wayne without Baby. I still think maybe it wouldn't. Like, the chances are lower.
You can't say that,
I mean, but he had. I mean, okay, so so to me, I think you could say it for Lil Wayne, but you can't say it for BG. I think without Cash Money, BG's nothing ever.
Probably.
Because he's really not that great, anyways. And he's fuck cracker.
Wayne's something special. He has it.
He had the it, and I think even without Baby, but what happened was, it doesn't matter. That's what happened. So he ended up becoming his father figure, and he's got some kind of bad hang up on Lil Wayne that I don't think is healthy for him. And especially, I couldn't, bro. You stole $50 million from me that I know about. How much did you steal that I don't know about? It's like, come on, that's crazy. And like, how much? Like, why even? You're making what, $500 million? You need to steal this money from Lil Wayne, Baby? Like, why? For what? So you have extra zeros in your bank account that you'll never spend? Like, what? I don't get the point in that. You backstab one of your dudes, you like your son, over extra numbers in a bank account that'll never get spent. That's what I'll never understand about greed.
Yeah, we don't really know the details. Like, I'm not gonna.
But this hasn't come out in the courts. He robbed him, and he got his money. He got his money now. The record label paid for it, but he was liable for it or some shit.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, huh?
And he apologized for it. Oh, my bad, he told him.
My bad.
For the 50.
Oh, my fault.
So, my thing with Lil Wayne is, I think he was headed to GOAT status. 2000, what was it? 4, 5, 6, time when Carters were coming out. I never thought that, but I thought he was fired. But I was having these discussions now with people at parties. Lil Wayne's the GOAT, bro. Lil Wayne's the GOAT. And And I'm always no Tupac is, doesn't matter who you tell me. But then I'm trying to think about it objectively. I mean, he's good, he's really good. But then he'd be just talk about just rhyming words, Joe Budden. Like sometimes Lil Wayne just be saying shit.
Depends on what Wayne, what year.
Yeah, what year? So, am I excited for a Carter 5 after 5 years of waiting? Is it new material? Is it the album from 5 years ago?
There's the thing with me and Wayne. I've never been a huge Wayne fan. When Wayne first started, I remember him. He was a kid, and his music was trash, complete trash. And I always looked at Wayne like part of, almost like the Master P. It was like very, like they were putting out a lot of fucking artists, and this just happened to be like one of them, and it just didn't sound good, and a lot of them didn't really sound that good.
That was that crazy era where
he improved. That was like the first Wayne. Like he came back like way after the fact, and he started killing shit. And I was surprised to hear. I was like, this is Wayne, Lil Wayne, like the Lil Wayne I remember. Like, what the fuck? And I always thought he wasn't writing his own shit, because that's what you thought at the time. You know what I mean? Like that's what you were into. Like you knew and wanted to call this shit out. It was like, if he was that trash back then, there's no way he's writing these bars now. He has a ghostwriter. I always thought that, but later on, I was like, nah, he writes his own bars. But I think it was like one album that was really, really fly that I liked, and the rest I'm not too crazy over.
Well, I'll always say it. I don't care. I think what put a lot of those guys on, and even Wayne kept him, showed us the glimpses of why people love him, was Manny Fresh. He was doing the production, and then when he stopped fucking with them, I think that's when they started falling off. I loved Manny Fresh. His beats were fire, and even when he would rap, he ain't no rapper really. He's like a bad version of Puffy maybe.
I'm not even sure who that is.
Manny Fresh?
Yeah.
That song, Gator boots and Gucci suits. You know that song?
No.
I ain't got no job. Is the whole take off the other song?
Maybe.
Anyways, he used to do all the beats back then. Bling Bling. Remember Bling Bling?
Yeah.
All right, he did the beat for that. He was doing all the production, and then when he left,
he was a producer?
I felt like that's where Wayne fell off.
He was producing this shit.
Everything.
Yeah.
He was the guy. And then he fell out with Baby. They fell out, and he came up with them. He was them from day one. They were homies. And he ended up falling out, I think, over money too. And and then I think the only reason Cash Money survived was Drake. If they didn't get Drake, that would have been rough for them.
I was saying like J-Biz. Let me see. It said maybe it'll be outdated material. Matt Banks says, and maybe it will be, but people are still gonna fucking buy it. It's gonna
it'll get views. I mean, especially the anticipation of it. But
yeah.
If it's not good in the era we're in, it's gonna be done in a week.
It's a freebie, really.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not good, I think in the era we're in, if it's not good, people are just not gonna listen to it. They're not just gonna listen to things for no reason. No one does that. You don't just listen to trash because it's
gonna be.
Hey, it's a white rapper.
It's gonna be a revival.
No one listened to. And after Kamikaze came out, so I'm thinking, all right, I was hard on Revival. Let me go back. Let me give it a real listen, right? I'm tripping. You go to the first song, it's that trash fucking Beyonce song with no beat. Garbage.
The Walk
on
the Water.
What talking about? All right. Second song. Eminem's fucking rapping weird. Like weird. He's not flowing. He's like really choppy. He didn't. Not one cadence here that he used in Kamikaze. He was very weird, choppy Eminem, like on beat and then purposely off beat kind of Eminem, which is I hate. And I fast forward it. Garbage. It's still garbage. And I don't know. I just don't get it. Who the fuck they asking about? You like Nacho from He from the Sea? Nacho Picasso? Does anybody know who Casanova is? You ever heard of him, Joel?
I've heard of him, yeah.
What do you know about him? He's a rapper. What do you like? There's only one thing that he's known for.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you right now. I know the name though.
Okay, here.
That name's actually been floating around more and more.
I'm gonna play a 6-second snippet. It's probably none of this shit's copyright anyways, but I won't play it. Listen to this.
It's probably not copywritten. Give him no credit, DME.
Right. What's that one song? I think this is it.
Yeah, I don't know what Emma's doing.
That's not it. Hold on. And they got all his shitty songs on iTunes. Look at YouTube. Nobody knows who he is, bro. All right, so basically, he's well, here I gotta hear it.
No.
Exactly. He has the same voice. He has the same fucking cadence.
I can't tell over the transmission, but
Oh, you couldn't hear it well?
I mean,
he sounds exactly like Pac. If I told you this is new Tupac, huh?
His cadences, yeah.
If I told you this was new, I got confused when I first heard him, because I was searching for new Tupac on the internet all the time ever since he died. And then this would people were clickbaiting his songs. New Tupac 2006, fire shit, right? Click on it, it's one of his songs, and I used to get confused. I thought it was him at first, like for real. He's especially he plays into it, you know, and like he just said ambitions as a writer. You know, and then I would play him for my boys who are, you know, as big a Pac fans as me, and I had them folded for a while, you know, and then fooling them is hard because there was a guy called Blue Hayes or something Hayes that came out that sounded like Pac after he died, but you could still tell there a little bit of a difference. He sounded like Pac, but there was still, you could tell it wasn't him. This one, he can confuse the fuck out of you.
But you can't copy respect.
Right. And then you know what the worst part is? He ended up doing a song with the Outlaws. The Pac crew.
Yeah, maybe they think that shit is dope, man. You know?
No, the thing is, he's actually dope.
Yeah.
Like if you know, when I listen, but it's hard for me because it's like, all right, I know what you're doing, but because he writes his raps like he's Pac. Like he actually, like he's him.
Got to believe me.
Yeah, he does that a lot. I mean, he's dope, and even that song with the Outlaws, you can, if you played it for someone, no one would even know, especially if you're the Outlaws with him. He was beefing with 69. These guys are talking crazy about some dude. I don't see, and that's another thing with all these guys now. It's all Instagram, right? Instagram beef and wars.
Instagram is actually more popping than Twitter is, because
for the youngsters.
people like the visual. It's more stimulating because it's more immediate on it.
I used to love Instagram before Facebook bought it. I was on it from the beginning when it first came out, and it wasn't like it is now at all. There was no live. The comments weren't the way they were, but It just got a little bit crazy for me. I don't know. I think Twitter is my favorite.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's you don't have to like. I really think even though sometimes it's constraining, the limit, you know, makes you more digestible. Because when you read, like, sometimes I'll be commenting on these Instagram posts and they'll be like pages, and I'm not gonna read that shit.
Yeah, I hate that.
You don't even read none of it, you know.
I get one paragraph in, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, they're doing too much. Who's spending all that time writing?
I'm good.
Like, and you know, all these people. It's funny. Like growing up, nobody used to read, but I feel like no, internet. All we really do is read.
Well, speaking of reading, I ordered my copy of Bars by Ryan.
You know, promoted that on their channel the other day.
Ryan O'Neal, I think. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I think so. Avocado and Disaster.
Yeah.
They had the book on Ruiner Day. Disaster's flipping through it. This is amazing. And I guess John had on Twitter a little rant about it, trying to see if it's a culture vulture who's wrote it and what's going on. He's like really upset about it. Avocado said like there have been 2 years of it took 2 years in the making. Well, they took 2 years to make it. Tons of research, lots of people were involved. So. Yeah. He pretty much stamped the authenticity of it. You know, do you think John jumps the gun a lot when he does that? He does that a lot.
I think he did there. I said something too. I said,
you did?
Yeah, I said. I don't know. I'm not sure what I said, but I did put in my 2 cents about it, and I basically said congratulate the guy for putting out the first.
Yeah, I mean, how about getting the book? Seeing if it's trash or not, and then maybe.
Oh no! I said.
I'm thinking of John.
I'm not passing judgment. I ordered my copy and I want to read it for myself just to see, you know, before I jump the gun. I said something along those lines, but I made my point.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. All right, Matt, you be cool, bro. My IG is DME Detroit. I'm pretty sure.
Peace, though. And
I think he does that a lot. I think a lot of people actually jump the gun and because I guess because of the internet, because you can comment easily. That's the thing. I couldn't imagine being when I was 13, 14, having this shit. Like I already know I would have been fucking being ridiculous in the social media, and especially with that never leaving. I mean, it could be there forever. I already know I would have been saying some crazy shit on the internet. Yeah. Probably wouldn't want to be out there.
You ever thought of a scrub?
Huh?
You ever thought of scrubs? Like
What's
history scrubs?
I had that on my Twitter. After so many tweets, it starts deleting.
What do you mean? Like that's third party?
Yeah.
It's an app.
Yeah, it was an app. You sign it in. I guess it's against the terms of services, but the way. So you're not even allowed to multi-delete on Twitter. That's against terms of services. You know that?
No.
Like if you delete like a whole bunch of shit at once, that's like technically against their terms of service. So what the app does is, it just deletes. You can set it up for how you the parameters. So, delete every tweet after 2 weeks. Delete every tweet after a month.
Okay, so what is that? How does that start, and how far did you get?
It just runs right now, so you can only see 3 months of my tweets at all times.
How long did it take to reach 3 months?
Oh, I think it was done over a couple of days, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know because I never went to look back and see if the tweets were there. All
That's
right?
a lot of tweets.
They're not there now. That's all I know. And not that I don't even think I've never said anything crazy on Twitter. And I was on Twitter since 2010. And when it was a lot different, where I would have 50 followers and still that'd be a lot, you know. But even with the scrub thing is what happens now though, Vijuel? Screenshots. People take screenshots. They got it. You know, you post a video and someone downloads it before you can make it private. They probably shouldn't have posted. You know, you can grab everything off the internet before it happens. And I just wonder because I feel like if I was young and I had all this shit, I'm sure I would have been ridiculous with it. I think so. Maybe I would. Maybe I would have been, smarter than that. Because I used to jump in them AOL chat rooms all the time talking greasy. But you ain't, that's anonymous.
Yeah, we got the very first wave.
Yeah, the very first wave. That's a fact.
Precious time, amazing times.
Yeah, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Don't get crazy on Twitter; they'll shut you down. Yeah, you can't even say anything. You can't say rum nitty anymore. The banned word. I'm surprised I didn't get banned for. I think I typed "disaster's gonna kill this midget," and then I'm surprised no one reported that. You think that if that tweet got reported, I'd get banned? Disaster's about to kill this midget.
It's yeah.
See, we're losing context now on what my context is he's gonna beat him in a battle rap, but you report it
probably not the kill part, but the midget you would.
Oh my god.
Like, we know you're joking about the killing, but don't say midget.
Right. Y'all, why y'all see that video on Hurricane Dude channel she just dropped? No, I didn't see that. Amy was like a SL bitch. What's a SL bitch? Oh, ASL?
What's Hurricane Dude talking about?
She's probably talking crazy. Let's see. She be on her shit.
The Dude.
You subscribed to her? I think.
Yeah. Shout out to the Hurricane Dude.
Probably don't get notifications anymore, but there she is. Banned URL TV. It's only 40 seconds long. Let's see what this.
Oh yeah, I saw that
to
tweet.
prohibit an action or forbid the use of something, especially by official decree. To refuse to allow someone to do something, go somewhere, or be a participant, exclude, censure, condemnation, or disapproval expressed especially by public opinion.
She gave the definition to banned. Is that what she did?
It says URL banned coming soon. Like it's an event of a name called banned.
Is that the definition to banned?
Probably.
Let me see.
And that's it. So what was the point of that?
Officially or illegally prohibit. Officially exclude someone from a place.
The comments aren't helping me out.
Maybe banish, expel, eject, evict, divert.
There's nothing to watch. You just watched it at Skays. Like I have that on my watch later. It's literally the definition of banned, and that's it.
So yeah.
I don't get it, but okay.
Well, I think she's making a point.
What's the point? Who's banned besides me?
The point is that she's well aware that there's an exclusion happening.
Okay.
There's an inclusive party going on so they're throwing it in our faces, really.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm down with that. Bodied by Mariah, laughing out loud. You even heard the warning? Yeah, I heard the warning, Red Rain. See, when I say Eminem got bodied by Mariah, I'm half joking, but Obsession was a fire song. All right? But I'm half joking, and then no one understands the sarcasm, I guess. But can I blame them?
Well, it's hard to have sarcasm like on platforms like Twitter and shit like that, because you don't know the text. You can't tell through text, you know.
No, this is my video. I said
there's no. I'm just saying in general, there is no.
Yeah, and texting is like the worst. I get misrepresented all the time. I'll be like, I'm joking. I don't know if you noticed. That's why Viduel. I'm gonna correct this. That's why Viduel. When I'm in Twitter or in chat rooms, I will constantly put laughing emojis, just because I feel like it's interpreted better, and I'm always misinterpreted to be so. Because if I just read something, it might seem way too serious. And I think if you just put a little laughing emoji, it kind of like brings some kind of like ha ha ha, like I'm just laughing about. I feel like I've been using that a lot.
Yeah, and they use people's like what emojis they use to check the psychology, the psyche of the network. Yeah, they see because it's an expression of you.
Exactly.
Everything's documented, man. They're watching. They're
watching.
Listening. They're recording. and probably all going into AI.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Well, I better I probably gotta wrap it up soon. I want to go see her before she's crying.
Yeah. Let's cut it here.
Yeah, this has been fire. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Epske. Who else was in here? Matt's sleeping.
Matt Bank,
Poppy. All you guys,
Jay
man. Thank y'all for watching, man. What's up?
Sir.
And, be on the lookout. We'll be doing more.
Yeah, I got more shit dropping. I got like 6 videos on the way.
Yeah, I got a couple more Jack Boy videos and whatever else the fuck irritates me between then and now. Buy the Disaster pay-per-view against the little man. And I'm hearing he's not even a little guy.
It's probably like
he's
a dwarf.
Short.
Yeah.
He's literally just short.
Yeah. Well.
Like 5'4" or something.
He's gonna be a fucking midget that night.
I think it's gonna be good because I really think Disaster. I like Disaster when he battled Dumbfounded and that blind guy, and there was another like gimmicky kind of guy he battled. I can't remember. Has he battled a deaf guy? No, that doesn't make sense. What's that guy? What's that blind guy's name? He's battled a lot of people.
Well, there's Blind Fury back in the day.
Not him. No. The guy with he's from England, I think, with the cane.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about too.
I think Sharon battled him.
Yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah,
he's good. Our retweet IG what I can for you. I appreciate you, Anway. So yeah.
DME's gonna think about it, and we out.
Salute,
Salute,
peace.
y'all.